is gonna be joining us here shortly, since I've seen her kind of pop in and off, or on and off. Otherwise, we're just gonna get right into it. Dan will be back here in a moment. We're gonna start with right where we left off, which is the next evening in Boston, the night of the Archons' coronation, and given that Rufus wakes up early every night at the crack of dusk, we're going to start with him, and the image we'll have is, did he stay in his luxury suite at the Hyatt?
Yeah, I think he would have stayed there.
Okay. And so what we'll do is the camera will pan past the nice expanse of Boston Harbor with the night city reflecting just off of the water as the sun makes its final goodbyes and the light completely disappears. And the camera will move in very quickly to one of the upper floors of the Hyatt off the harbor there, and it will pan into a nice luxurious suite that looks rather unoccupied, looks rather vacant, and it zooms in and around, and it follows Rufus to, would he sleep on the bed, or would he do anything other precautionary measures like sleep on the tub or underneath the bed itself?
He'd probably sleep underneath the bed or something like that.
So the camera will kind of pan into the main bedroom and expecting to see some sort of guest there, and again it's rather sparse. There doesn't even seem to be any indication that there's anyone staying there, and the camera will pan down and we'll see Rufus twitching in his sleep, a slight blood sweat coming off of his forehead as he's cramped underneath the bed. And as that magical moment happens when the sun finally sets completely in the west, he pops awake, and he's the haze of the nightmares of the past, of the genocides, of the war, of northern aggression are very fresh in his mind. He can even see his sister that night when he left, and he's just in a very basic, bland business suite in Boston.
Yeah, so he takes a few minutes to kind of collect himself, looking very deliberately around the room, trying to remind himself of who he is and where he is and when he is. And then he'll slowly and robotically start getting himself ready for the night.
Is there anything that he does in particular each night?
You know, he probably cleans himself, pulls his hair back in a ponytail.
Okay.
You know, shaves off some stubble that reappears every morning or every night.
Does he do anything to help keep the nightmares at bay when he's had them?
No, I don't think he's really developed a lot of coping strategies for that yet.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So those images weigh heavily on the forefront of Rufus's mind as he finishes up his nightly routine of the light shave and the combing and the pulling back of the hair into the ponytail. And as he's dusting the last little bits of lint off and putting on, I don't know if he actually carries any kind of weapons on him. I assume he carries something.
He probably has a large knife, but he does travel mostly unarmed.
Okay, fair enough. So you get a nice big old combat knife, and he puts it kind of hidden away, like up in the back area where it's nice and easy to reach, but hard to initially see. And the night is his. The coronation won't happen until around 11 p.m. So there's a fair amount of time, as it's around like probably late 6, early 7 o'clock for you.
Mm-hmm.
The rest, everyone will kind of start to wake up in the next like half an hour to an hour-ish.
Yeah, so he'll, you know, I think open up a computer he has and check his phone messages. You know, he had it kind of ignored it last night, so he'll see the text about you know, the dark cloud or whatever it was King Arthur referred to the Bank of America building.
Yes.
And he'll send out a response to that, asking if you know, this is an implication that other forces are at play.
Okay. All right.
Because he's, you know, what's a hellmouth? You know, does this mean that something else is influencing the kindred of Providence?
Okay.
And he opens up the laptop and, you know, clumsily opens up a browser and a search bar and starts looking for the nearest library.
Okay, that's probably easily done. The closest one that remains open enough or late enough for him to get to is, you know, a few blocks away. You can get a taxi there.
So, yeah, he'll grab a cab over to the library and try and do some research on the history of Providence to prepare for heading there.
Okay. Go ahead and did you see the dice stream? Did that load up for everybody? And off to your right for everybody?
I believe it's off on the side.
On left or whatever, left, right, that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not for me.
I can't do it right. There we go. Anyway, go ahead and give me an intelligence plus academics roll.
Okay. Let me switch over to my character sheet here.
While he's looking that up, I just want to confirm something. Melissa's at 6, Damien and Arthur and Natalia are at 5s. Is that correct for humanities? Have I got that right?
Arthur is at 6.
He's at 6 too. Okay, so my mistake there. That's why I wanted to double check. So it's Arthur and Melissa at 6, and then Natalia and Damien at 5. Is that right then?
I'm at 4.
Oh, you're 4. See, I'm all over the place. So what do we get here? We got a 9196. Wow, that was. Oh, you got at least a 6. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of mixed results there.
Yeah, slightly. So what you end up getting is you get kind of a general overview of Providence. Something that's kind of interesting that happened is during the Prohibition era, it had some real heavy corruption, and it was part of that New England kind of chain of speakeasies and moving alcohol around. So Providence has this real kind of seedy background in the 20s and 30s. It's for as cosmopolitan it tries to be now, it's tried to forget a very corrupt past.
Did we lose your camera? Oh no, we got it back.
So there was a lot of turmoil. There was some gang fighting, things like that happened.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Do you have any particulars about that, Seth?
No. I was just gonna, you know, do some research, read some books, you know, kind of as a way to calm him down a little bit.
Okay. I meant, did you have any particular questions about what I had mentioned there?
Oh no.
No. Okay. All right. So it's a good practice. He spends the next hour or so doing a little research, trying to find more details about that, and uses it to find some quiet time. The library is rather vacant at this hour, and you know, within an hour or so, a librarian will politely come up to him and say, "Excuse me, sir, I need to close."
And, you know, he graciously leaves, of course, man.
Thank you. Have a pleasant evening.
And you as well.
And so you head back to the Hyatt?
Yeah. If it's not too far, he might walk.
Okay. Before I forget, everybody mark off 2 blood points, one from the previous night and then one from waking up this evening.
Mhm.
Not that your blood pool will come up this evening at all.
Be right back.
Right on. And you're just going to wander around? Or is Rufus is just going to meander?
Yeah, I think he's going to meander. It'll take the long way back. You know. How long does he have before he has to be anywhere?
11, and there is a ride designated at the Hyatt to get you to the Hancock building.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll definitely meander a bit and try and explore the city.
Okay. All right. Boston is a pretty mixed mash town, much like Manhattan. It's a kind of a mixture of old world and new world. There's a lot of small, tight streets and brick buildings, and a lot of beachfront or dock property. So there's a lot of pretty areas to go. It's the city itself has a pretty thriving nightlife. It's pretty awake. Some cities get sleepy, others. Like Izba, I think I said that right. I mean, that place picks up at 12 o'clock at night, where Boston has a real pretty thriving evening life in that way. There's a lot of young families and people out just spending time together. So we'll move to the 6s and see what they want to do as Rufus is checking out Boston proper. One of them, I believe, is at a Super 8, if I remember correctly. Well, the other one, I assume, is at the Hyatt, being Melissa and Arthur. Either one. Arthur?
Yeah, I would have slept in the bathroom, and then once I woke up, I would go down and wait wherever we were supposed to wait prior to the coronation, as I have no other business.
Okay. Would he just head back over to the Hyatt and wait there, or would he actually go to the tower itself and wait there?
He would go to wherever the coronation was actually being held.
Okay, so you'd head. All right, so you head to the tower, and once you get to the tower, it's closed to the public once you get there. So there's no obvious way for him to get in. Does he just want to chill out front, or does he want to call somebody and try to get inside, or?
As I am a king and I am not the public, I will throw some obfuscate on and sneak in a side door.
Okay. Go ahead and give me let's say, a perception plus stealth to find the right timing of someone coming in and out and you going in to get yourself in there.
Okay. Perception 4, stealth 5. Let me just bring up my pool here. That's too many. Sorry guys, my dice roll kind of lags a little bit. My computer kind of lags a little bit older.
That's fine. We're going to be trying out this dice stream tonight when we most certainly don't get into any kind of combat. And I want to feel how it moves about and how it rolls or quickly removes rolls for everybody. And if it tends to be too clunky, we'll have to move to a roll d20 situation or something. So don't worry about it for right now. Just see how it treats you.
I went ahead and made a roll. Let me know if you see it popping up.
All right. Any day now. Any moment. On beta
There we go from me. It shows on my thing as... What's the difficulty you're giving us?
For that, we'll just call a 7.
Then I would get actually 0 successes. I got 3 6s, a 9 and an 8, and 2 1s.
Do me a favor. Hey, Seth, can you clear your dice roll for me? I want to see something real quick.
Oh, yeah, sure. Mine's still showing up there?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll again for me, Jeremy. It's fine. We'll just try something out. It's not a big deal. We'll take the next roll. for better or worse. Anything?
Works for me.
Yeah.
It's coming up now. Okay, rolled.
Okay. Well, am I crazy and am I the only one who doesn't see anything? Does anyone see dice roll?
No, I could see Seth's dice roll, but I don't see one yet. Oh, I see one die came up.
Oh, here we go.
Two dice.
Ma.
Right? Three.
3 dice.
Two.
How many
We're watching a
successes?
game show.
4.
Yeah, like, is it gonna be 7, 7, 7, 7, 7? Oh, it's a
Oh, it's a bosh.
No whammies.
Man.
no whammies. Yeah, that's pretty clunky. How many successes did you get there with that roll on a 7? Looks like
Oh.
9 goes away. What is that? An 8 at the end or a 0 at the end? Like over
So
there.
0 from what I can see.
0. Okay, so those the 9 and that 0 go away. So only 2 6s. 3 6s. So it's not particularly hard, but it was just it was hard to find someone coming and going. Apparently, at this point, it's locked down tight. You can tell that they're kind of paranoid about the building. Actually, oh, here comes some more.
Yeah, that was the second roll. The one you're seeing now is the second roll.
Oh, I see. So 10, 9. Yeah, I mean with the 1, well, with the 10, the 1 canceled out, so 2 9s. Yeah, I mean you'll find a custodian on one of the back corners of the tower who's doing a pretty good job of getting in and out pretty quick and being dutiful about using his badge, but you're quite skilled at it, and you just pick the right moment when he's picking up what's left of his garbage and heading back inside. He pushes the door open just at the right time, and you kind of slink in with him and follow him as he leads you through the tower itself. It seems that inside the tower, like most of the businesses or a lot of the offices are locked down, but otherwise it's effectively empty. He goes into a service elevator. Do you join him?
Sure. I do. I have left orders for Lance to join us at the time of the actual coronation.
Okay.
So he will be outside until such time. I myself am armed with a sword on my back, but I'm also obfuscated, so whether he sees me or not is on him if he has awareness.
Right. So he initially heads down, gets some supplies, and begins to slowly work his way up and through either some odd errands or odd fixing jobs throughout the entire building. He doesn't seem to go to any of the uppermost floors. He'll go up as far as like 40, but never go beyond that.
Okay, I am going to step in front of him at one point, reappear, and dominate him
Okay.
into standing still and making no noise. It'll be a level 2 dominate,
Sure.
which I believe is manipulation plus intimidation.
He's a janitor. It's fine.
Okay.
He sits still.
Once he stands still and doesn't move, I will take a nip of 2 blood points from him.
Okay.
I will borrow his badge.
Okay.
And then I will use Dominate 3 to make him forget and think that he left his badge in one of the upstairs rooms, or one of the upstairs places where I know we're supposed to go, and then I will re-obfuscate and wait for him to take us up there.
Okay. You'll go through that entire process. You can get your 2 blood back. When you release the Forgetful Mind and enact the Mesmerism command, he heads over to the elevator, goes up to the 55th floor. It seems that he's heading to the security office.
Mm-hmm.
And he just knocks on the door and proceeds to have a very basic conversation where he gets chewed out by one of the security guys for losing his badge, and they proceed to have a conversation. And eventually, after about 2 or 3 minutes, he gets a replacement badge and goes back to what he was doing.
Okay, I will use my badge to find where we were supposed to be meeting, whatever ballroom or basement thing or whatever we're doing here.
The badge seems to control a lot of the locked areas. The coronation was happening on the 60th floor on the observation tower, or the observation lounge on the top of the tower. When you head up to the top of the tower, it's closed. That's locked up, and it has keys and whatnot. So the badge doesn't necessarily get you in.
Okay. Then I will head back down. How many people are in the security office?
When you were kind of hanging around and his good ear, we'll say you probably guessed 2, 3 mortals, somewhere in that ballpark. A gaggle group.
Okay. Is the janitor now out of sight?
Yeah, he went back down. I assumed you went up to you missed him, and you had to go up to the 60th floor, so you ended up ditching him at one point. So he's somewhere else in the building at this point. It'd take you a while to find him.
Then I will use Mask of 1,000 Faces to look like him, and I will walk in and ask one of them to let me up the 60th floor so that I can empty the garbage. And if
so we're going to pause
they
there.
resist, I'll go ahead and give them a command.
Yeah, we're going to have to pause there. So you're going to go with your mask and head over there and tell them to let you up there. What is Melissa doing? I assume she's waking up in the hut.
Yep.
Okay. What would she like to do with her time before the coronation?
Approximately how much time is there before the coronation?
By the time you two woken up, we're going to say it's moving on to 8 o'clock, pushing like that 8 to 9-ish area.
What time's the actual coronation?
11.
Oh, okay. Yeah, going to use the computer and look up maps and Providence and such.
Okay. All right, so you start doing some research about Providence and just start gathering intel about the geographical area, maps, street maps, that kind of stuff.
And that club Prospero is the club that Prospero runs.
Pulse. Yeah, so you get info on Pulse.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's easy enough. It's what you would consider your classic or cookie cutter dubstep club. A lot of industrial body music and stuff like that.
Oh, no roll for me? No roll for me?
No, I mean you just gather the information. That's fine.
Oh.
That's real basic in particular. Rufus was trying to do some particular research about the history, and I was just going to seeing what kind of tidbits he could come up. A tourist could get that information. I could get that information real quick, so that's no biggie. You can just spend a lot of time gathering it.
Okay. Okay, so I spent 3 hours doing it.
I'm guessing. Would you like to do anything else during that time, or?
Well, I also want to look up the yellow pages and look up people's last names, which ones have English last names.
Okay, sure. You can start browsing for food. So.
For people in Providence,
Right. Okay. So you're doing some research about Providence, gathering some info about the layout, and trying to look up some potential English suitors while you're there. Okay. Roughly 15 minutes, half an hour later, is when Damien will wake up. So it's kind of mid-8 o'clock now.
Okay. I was just going to go over with my sire the game plan for getting all buddy-buddy with the prince before we head up there.
Okay. His. We'll do a brief scene. You basically head out of the Hyatt and call for one of the speedboats to come and grab you, and they take you out to the yacht.
Okay.
He's already up. He's kind of wandering around, and a couple of his blood dolls are like interacting and hanging out and playing chess together. And you come into one of his salons. It's a lot of plush kind of Victorian couches and a lot of mirrors all over the place. And the blood dolls are off to the side. They're kind of laughing and talking about playing the games. And as he sees you enter, he motions you to come over to him. He was eerily staring into a mirror with no regard. As you know, of course, you both don't have a reflection.
Yep.
Good evening, child.
Good evening, sire.
How did their
didn't
evening go?
So far, so good. Coronation's tonight.
Yes. I plan on making myself as indisposable as I can, and I will try to make friends with most of the individuals there. I would ask that you play your role and do what you can to ingratiate yourself with the elders that are there. I have a sneaking suspicion that they will be speaking with you a great deal more than they'll be speaking with me.
Absolutely. I'll do my best at what I can. There is one in particular that I know we were talking about getting buddy-buddy with Prince Castus in Providence. Is there maybe some business that we can find up that way to legitimize my reason for going up there?
Well, it's Costas, the Prince of Boston. Castor, the one who's about to be killed in Providence. We don't need to worry about them. What I would prefer you to do is when you're in Providence, seek out as many opportunities as you can along the dock area. I have a sneaking suspicion that area's export-import is probably as important as it is for Boston. So if we're going to get any kind of foothold and after everybody's been cleared out, I think that's going to be our best plan. So do me a favor and wander around the docks and ingratiate with anyone you think might have any influence in that area before they die.
Establish contacts inside the docks.
Yes. Yes. I can't stress enough that apparently Costas, the Prince of Boston, he is also an Alistair and does not visit Boston very often. So when I say that we need to go out of our way to befriend him or make his acquaintance, I mean it, as we might not get another chance to speak with him. He does not typically stay in town for very long.
I understand.
Good. Use Lucen if you need to as a leverage to speak with him, as some sort of curiosity or whatever excuse you can use. He might be a touch standoffish.
I'm sure he'll be a little bit more standoffish with La Sombra, but given my Archon status as of tonight, that might just be enough curiosity to pique his interest, but I will use Lucen if I need to.
Well, have you fed? Do you need to eat? Kind of gestures to the blood dolls.
I'll be fine. I'm sure I'll pick something up in Providence.
Very well. Well, join me for a time as I need to discuss some of my business matters with you. And he just likes using you as a sounding board as far as some of his business ventures. And you guys walk around the yacht for a little while as he uses you as, like, what do you think I should do here? What do I think do there? I mean, I don't recall if Damien has a lot in finance. I don't remember if he did. I thought he had some. Is that right?
Finance, not so much.
I must be thinking of somebody else. That he just ends up being kind of that, voice of reason for him. Would you do that with him until the coronation itself?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So you guys will do that for easily a few hours, and he'll insist on not showing up exactly on time, but not terribly late either. You can't be fashionably late, but you can't be the first one to arrive. It's very, very careful.
Okay.
So that's what you'll, I guess, be doing for that little bit of time. We'll switch to Natalia.
Yeet.
Last one to wake up. She's staying with Warwick. She has her own bedroom at this point, her own little area. What would she do? She would wake up more approaching 9 o'clock, moving into mid-9 o'clock.
So she would, you see her pulling up her platinum blonde hair onto the back of her head into a bun, except her mask isn't on yet, so you can see, kind of just see the horror of her face with the teeth and the sunken eyes, and this beautiful, beautiful midnight blue suit, immaculately tailored, gorgeous, and then she puts a hat on her head, just tips it just right, and as she does that, she begins to put her mask in place and puts a coat of red lipsticks on her lips, and becomes this kind of immaculately groomed, beautiful woman in the mirror, and then turns around and heads out to say her greetings to Warwick before she leaves, and then she would go try and hunt before the coronation.
Okay. Oh, jeez. I want to say a hunting roll. How would she hunt exactly?
She would, at this point, it's a fairly dark evening. Evening is pretty full well on. So she would walk the streets around, depending on where she is right now, I guess. But she would find like a neighborhood with maybe some quiet neighborhood bars, that kind of thing, and walk the streets until she finds an opportunity. Somebody walking home, maybe a little tipsy, through a neighborhood, through one of the neighborhoods around, maybe around some of the colleges and schools.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception plus streetwise, or investigation, streetwise being slightly better.
I'm going to do perception investigation.
Okay.
So I rolled it. What's the difficulty?
Let's see. For that area is going to be 6. So you can get 2 blood without any issue.
Okay. Okie dokie. So she would, do that, and then she would, depending on how far she was from where the coronation was being held, she'd take a taxi or a walk.
Okay. That probably took her about an hour or so. So the coronation is probably starting to gather people who are setting it up or being involved in it are likely there at this point. So which is why we will go all the way back to Arthur, King of the Britons, as he attempts to convince his way into the 60th floor. So now the masquerade or masked Arthur walks up to the door, and do you just knock on it? How do you do this?
Well, since I'm looking like the other janitor, do you want me to roll for my mask of 1,000 faces?
No, that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. That's a pretty easy mask.
I'm basically going to go in there, and I'm going to tell them, ask one of them to escort me up to the locked area so I can make sure that all the maintenance things have been attended to,
Oh, hang on. We're just talking about you're walking up to a door. What are you doing?
Oh.
They're on the opposite side of your door on the door.
In that point, I would just be knocking on the door. Whichever way I saw him enter before, I would enter the same way. So if he knocked, I would knock. If he just opened, I would just go in.
Fair enough. No, he did politely knock, like a little knock.
Okay.
And within a few moments, the guy he referred to as Hank opens the door. Is like, Miguel, what?
I need to go up to the 60th floor and make sure everything is done before that party come on tonight.
No, it's fine. It's taken care of. You're not assigned to that duty.
I think I am assigned to that duty, and I will try to dominate it.
Okay. This one I am going to make you roll since he's not a schmo.
Okay.
So go ahead and you're going to give me a mesmerism command to. You are going to take me upstairs. Is that what was the command exactly?
You're going to take me upstairs because I am assigned to that, and then you'll come back down here and let's not go about your duties like normal.
So are you mesmerizing him or trying to mess with his head?
I am going to mesmerize him. I'm not going to try to mess his memories.
Okay. So you're trying to change his memories. Let's do that one first for me.
No, we're not changing his memory. I'm just going to tell him I'm assigned to it.
Oh, I see. So it gives me a mesmerism roll, difficulty 5 as his willpower.
Alright, so that's manipulation, which I have 3, and leadership, which I have 4. I will spend a willpower point since this would be a really embarrassing place to botch.
Ah!
I would not have to want to... Huh?
No, I just laughed. You're good, brother.
Yeah, I would not want to have to frenzy in. Okay.
Yeah, that'd probably go poorly.
I have rolled the dice. Let's... Yeah. Well, that's good. I got 2 successes. They should be appearing on the screen soon.
Okay. So what we're gonna do. There we go. That
There
is
we
really
go.
okay.
Does it
Okay.
appear this slowly for everybody else, or is it just my screen?
No, it's coming in pretty slow. Everybody else, it's pretty slow.
I see them
Yeah.
showing up one at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And Carla's that one. Did everyone see hers pop pretty quickly? Relatively so. When it came up. No.
Yeah, I think they were all there the first time I saw them.
Okay, thank you. All right, right on. Okay. Yeah, it takes away us 6. That's 2, and that's enough to convince him of that. And so he just closes the door behind him and starts walking to the elevator.
I will follow along with him.
Okay. You head on up. It's just a couple more floors up. He walks over to the glass doors that are locked that looks like would have led into the kind of very posh foyer of a 4- or 5-star restaurant that is the observation lounge, and he just opens the few doors and then just walks back to the elevator. Pushes the button.
I
and goes
will.
in.
Okay, I will let myself in. I will go ahead and completely obfuscate myself once he is out of view, and I am basically at this point going to walk around and cage the place, make sure there are no explosives or snipers or other means of ambush set up in this area that all the kindred are going to soon be gathered.
Okay.
I will take however long I have before we are done, or before we're ready to take the coronation to do so.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception plus security. Is there even security anymore? Is that even a skill?
Oh, there's larceny.
It's
Uh,
larceny.
Why don't you give me
Yeah,
investigation? Investigation probably makes more sense, actually.
I can do that one too.
Let's do that.
Sure. He's a paranoid Malkavian, so we'll let him have it.
Make sure to clear the roll for me when you do the next one, just
Yep.
for the ease, please. Thank you.
Yep, that's what I did. It just took a minute to come
Oh,
up.
fair enough. Same stupid thing.
I honestly don't know if it's the dice roller app that's clunky or if it's my computer. Maybe my computer, and I apologize for that.
That's alright. What can you do?
I had Perception 4, Investigation 4, and it just came up, so we'll wait for that to appear on this.
Okay. We'll say it's difficulty 7. How many successes did you get?
4, you'll see them be appearing soon.
Okay. With the 4
One of them was a
success-
10.
One of them was a 10. Did it get
Yeah.
canceled at all?
No, I did not. My specialty in investigation is crime scene, and I believe my perception is keen here, so that doesn't apply. But
Oh, fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
okay, so neither of them are pops. All right, here we go.
with
Ooh.
4, you can tell that it's not a particularly secure location. There are at least 3 or 4 other buildings that could easily shoot into this area. The elevators were way too easy to come on and off from. There's probably at least 2 or 3 other staircases that are in odd locations. So you're getting the impression that maybe one of the reasons why they closed this place down was it was kind of a security nightmare.
I am going to text Rook and Lance, and I am going to tell them to make sure that no birds are flying on the other roofs.
Okay. Right on. That would take probably enough time to get towards 10 o'clock, and when 10 starts rolling around, more individuals and Hank will show back up and start opening up the observation area, turning on lights, getting things going. You're obviously still obfuscated, but you're just not alone anymore after a while.
That's fine.
Okay.
Whenever I complete my investigations, when I will send the text.
Okay. Easy enough. What would you do with the remainder of the time? Just chill there?
I'm going to take a. Is it a stage type area with a bunch of people set up stadium style, or is it more of a grand ballroom sort of deal where people are going to be able to mingle and walk amongst each other?
It seems like at one point it was more like a restaurant that has been cleared out to make an impromptu ballroom. They're bringing in like really plush seating to be sat around the room, but there isn't any kind of exact tables or chairs in the middle or whatnot. I'm trying to think. What exactly? Give me exactly what you wanted to do again.
If there is a stage area, I'm going to pull a chair up there as if a throne looking over the ballroom, and I'm going to sit on it, although I will not deobfuscate. If it is just a regular area that is, for people to mingle, then I will stand up by the wall, like I've seen the cool kids do in the movies, with my arm crossed, waiting for everything to begin.
Okay, fair enough. All right, you're pulling an invisible James Dean at the most coolest corner that would give you the biggest reveal.
Yes.
Easily enough. Yeah, you take your time trying to figure out where that spot is. So you got a good intro. Otherwise, everyone else gathers at the designated time that Rusin had said in passing when he had given out everybody's info to like Raj and Apollo's info, all that stuff. He said meet at the Hyatt at this time. So everyone else meets downstairs at the Hyatt, and a convention bus will pull up outside, like one of those airport taxi buses will pull up out front, and we'll wait there. I imagine, I guess the only person who's showing up on that is Melissa, right? Everyone else is like doing their own thing, right? Rufus is getting there on his own, and so is the Nosferatu, and so is the La Sombra. So yeah, Melissa, it's just her and her sire taking the convention bus to the tower.
Okay.
Uh,
Everyone else coming on their own?
Well, what ends up happening is Raj will show back up, and he will come in with you. Who you're assuming is this Apollo individual shows up. He is, the reason why I say that is he's walking directly over to you, and you knew he was supposed to be Ventro. And he looks like he's trying to kind of make that introduction. This guy who's Apollo, he's got really kind of longish hair that he kind of took care of, but really didn't. He's wearing street clothes that he can kind of move quick in, but look like he bought at a dollar store. And he has linen sunglasses with a blue tint. And he's like walking directly over to Melissa. He's like, "Oh, Madam Archon, it's great to meet you. I'm Apollo. I'm Ventru. Nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Apollo.
I'm sorry I wasn't around last night. I'm supposed to, and he kind of looks over to Lucen, and Lucen kind of just nods to him and goes, if she's not around, I'm supposed to talk to you, so I'm just letting you know.
Okay. Okay. Then what are,
If you need something to go away, I'm your guy, so just let me know.
Alright. Thank you.
And he kind of just like hangs about, and Lucen looks around for a little, looks to Raj and goes, "Raj, could you please call Octavius for me, or find out where he is? We're going to go, and can you just make sure he gets there?" Raj nods, "Whatever, boss lady." And he kind of wanders off and tries to head over to the suites. Lucen says, "All right, let's get going. We're not going to wait any longer." Octavius might be with his clan. And so you all kind of pile in and head on out to Zone Hancock Tower. Now, this tower at night has a kind of a shimmery blue glow that has a very new age 21st century look to it. It's like a very large blue marble that's kind of cut perfectly in this angle at night. Supposedly during the day it even has even a brighter blue to it, but at night it has this kind of melancholy midnight blue. And as the shuttle arrives and as everyone else begins to arrive at this location, the tower itself is lit up, and you can tell that something is different as there's a couple of onlookers pointing and looking at the building and pointing at the top as the observation lounge is bright and lit up, and the light at the top of the tower is lit, and it seems that that's a little uncommon. As all of you make your way in, either showing up by sewer, or showing up by taxi, or expensive rented limousine, everyone eventually pulls up and heads into the Hancock Tower. Hank, the security guard we saw before, is one of the many men in suits and women in suits that are lining the downstairs area and directing what seems to be the other occupants of Boston coming in, and they hold elevators, so no vampire has to ride in an elevator with another vampire. So it's this kind of process of status of who gets to go up first and how and when. And as you all will show up, the ghouls seem to be instructed about your arrival or who you are, and they immediately kick whoever's first in line out of the way, and each of you get a private ride up to the observation tower. And the observation tower at night at 11 o'clock, you can see all of Boston lit up, and you can see across the harbor itself out to the ocean. And it is the tallest point in Boston, so it has a very commanding feel of the city. It seems that everything is laid out before you and is yours to command. Now, Arthur, as you were the first one there, you will see the collection of people, the denizens of Boston showing up. One individual might strike his attention as rather manic. You get the impression that she's probably the hostess, the Mistress Belladonna. Mm-hmm. She's a reasonably attractive woman dressed in a very elegant evening gown with immaculate hair and pristine makeup. A little maybe done up a touch too much, trying to push to impress perhaps. and all of these ghouls, even that Hank that you had talked to at one point, eventually talk to her or interact with her in some way, shape, or form as things are initially getting set up. And she's the first one there, and eventually you can tell by just kind of aura checking, other kindred are showing up, and some of them she seems to acknowledge, and some of them she doesn't.
Okay, I'll take notes of the ones that she acknowledges and kind of keep an eye on them, since they may be the ones with any influence or power in the city.
Okay. Fair enough. You make a note of the individuals we're talking about, and I'll just try to mention them since there's a list of them when it kind of comes up. We'll try to do it. But you're guessing she's talking to probably the Primogen Council, maybe some officers and important kindred, because enough kindred at one point come in that she just kind of starts ignoring a large amount of them.
Okay.
So he probably gets that implication at least. So he's at least right in that regards. Otherwise, everyone else begins to show up. We'll say everyone shows up within a few minutes of each other, and there's no grand entrances, no one's being announced. Everyone just kind of comes up to the top floor and begins to mingle. There is an orchestra of entirely blind individuals playing a very soft melody, and there is what seem to be very heavily dominated serving staff, of various different ages and races, walking around with empty trays, with empty glasses, just kind of pretending to be servant staff and just serving nothing, but at least giving the appearance that there's like a party going on.
Arthur approves.
So, given that everyone's there and everyone's beginning to kind of chat and move around, Lucen would try to gather up her Archons and speak with them initially and kind of have a unified front of kind of gathering before it all happens. Does anyone want to avoid that or just try to make friends with people, do something in particular?
I will make sure that I am well within Lucen's line of sight when approaching before I de-obfuscate, as I do not want to surprise her in any way or make her think that I'm disrespecting her in any way.
Okay. So you find a way to de-obfuscate. Are you showing her you're de-obfuscating, or are you going to just wait to like de-obfuscate between two people and then kind of just appear?
I will melt out of somebody else, if you will.
Okay. You're going to
I will be walking in front of them in a... Yes.
Okay. All right, fair enough. So you are heading up, and Lucen and Melissa are just kind of just standing around, not really chatting. She seems to be waiting to hear from Raj, so she doesn't seem to be wanting to really engage anybody, and Melissa knows that look and that way about her. And as those two are kind of standing together, those three with Apollo, Arthur decloaks in front of you two, and I was like, whoa! I didn't even sense you there.
Hello. Hello, Arthur.
I nod to both of them.
Good evening, Arthur, Lucen says. Were you able to determine anything?
I bow to her. I did check, and there are several security risks, but I have informed several of the necessary people about that, and they are currently, hopefully, securing those areas.
Yes, from what I understand, the building was closed around the time those planes struck in Manhattan, and they closed it due to security risks. Mistress Belladonna, she kind of gestures to the woman you had seen initially. She is partial owner of the tower and manages to keep it open for such events.
Okay. Indeed.
She's actually of your clan and the Primogen of your clan for Boston, and the Mistress of Harpies.
I'm glad I haven't. I'm glad that I haven't acted in any way that would shame my clan. Then.
No, but I'm certain she would probably wish to meet with you at one point.
Yes, I will go ahead and nod to Lucinda and my fellow soon-to-be Archons, and I will make my way over to Mistress Belladonna and make greetings and small talk and whatnot.
Okay. We'll say, and then about that Rufus and Natalia show up as the walkers manage to get to the building, and Goblin would have probably walked with Natalia, and Warwick. You guys would have probably just come together as like a family thing.
Sure.
So, and they would have preferred to walk through the sewers as a nice constitutional, as Warwick would have said.
Okay.
And you guys arrive, and like I said, Rufus was probably the first one up. You guys take a back way in, of course. You guys don't come up through the normal elevators. You come up through like a service elevator and some sort of weird service side door. One of the many security risks that Arthur noted out for the Nosferatu to show up through. All of them. At the same time.
I will make a brief note of that, and I will text Lance to tell him to close that hole down.
The one thing also I should mention, Natalia,
I will send him there if he's there with us now.
Fair enough. Is you would have met Ellery, who's the Nosferatu Primogen of Boston. He would have met you guys there, and he's pleasant enough. He's actually a sculptor, so you guys may have talked art for a while. The three, you, Warwick, and him.
Definitely.
Okay. He during that time, you can tell he really, 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 really doesn't like Toreador. So you guys just don't talk about Toreador.
Gotcha. That's easily done. Sometimes I have to do exactly the opposite. So.
Fair enough. All right. So, but yeah, you guys all kind of show up around the same time, and there's a few more, like Goblin is with you, and a couple of the other neonates would kind of trail in behind you. Rufus, besides the puppy, he's bringing...
I was just say, I have to do some puppy duty. I'll be right back.
Okay. As Rufus comes in, the Maggie and Leo that he met on his first night there just the previous evening will smile and kind of walk immediately over to him and make him feel like he doesn't have a table to sit at.
It's nice to see you two again.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure. What did you think of Boston so far?
It's a beautiful city. It's got a very nice waterfront.
It does. It does. It's one of the major reasons why I decided to plant roots here.
It certainly seems like it might be a worthwhile investment. Heard rumors it didn't do so poorly in the housing crash.
No, it didn't actually, but that's because it's already kind of not particularly pleasant housing market, so it wasn't really all that different. I certainly made out like a bandit. Certainly pissed off Telamon, and he points out like that. That's Arthur Telamon. He's the Venture Primogen of Boston. He's a childer of Costus, so be careful.
Noted. So, Costus.
Everyone's still...
Am I there?
Nothing. Everything's fine. So what's the deal? Everything's gonna go all right tonight? Nothing strange is gonna happen? Nothing I should know about?
As far as I know, we are just being granted our position, and then we'll be probably shipping out.
At that point, Maggie just kind of nods and excuses herself and walks over to a man who's around 6'5", probably pushing 280, 300 pounds. It's a big, big cat. Compared to Maggie, who's almost 5 foot, maybe almost 110 pounds. So there's quite the height size disparity, but he's certainly deferential to her. And those two seem to be talking. It's like, well, I'm glad it's, I guess, working out and nothing bad's happening, and it's just going to be all smooth sailing tonight. I've been hearing all sorts of weird things with the Tremere. I just thought maybe that's why you guys were here.
Not to the best of my knowledge.
No. All right.
I will probably be giving you a call later. It seems I might need to take you up on your offer. Some firearms.
Oh, yeah, that's easy enough. We get you squared away. You just make up a nice little wish list, and I'm certain we can get something arranged.
Yeah. We can take care of that business after this is handled.
It's about that time when Damien and Francesco, did I say that right, Dan? Francesco? Okay. Arrive. And when they arrive, you can tell Francesco pulls the light just ever so slightly. And so things kind of get a little darker when you two show up. And he walks right over to, right past Rufus. That's fine. Right past Rufus and right straight to Lucen and Melissa.
I'll nod at Rufus as we pass, but I'll follow with him.
Okay, fair enough. He heads straight over to her, and he's like, Madam Justicar, it is a pleasure and an honor that you do, my child, and insomuch my clan, that you accept us as equals and members within your sect. And she kind of responds as, thank you, Lord Lasombra. I understand you're concerned, and I'm certain your child will be a boon and benefit to the Camarilla. Although I am certain he might suffer some ill effects, but I am certain that within time my kind and others will accept him as his own. For everyone out of game, Damien only has 4 status. Francesco bows very deeply, and again, you honor me, wonderful and glorious Justicar of Clan Ventro. I am at your disposal, as I have always been. And he bows very deeply, and he says this loud enough that most of the people around you, around those 4 or 5, hear the whole conversation. Mistress Belladonna, immediately, the person who's been described as Mrs. Belladonna comes rushing over to you and immediately introduces herself to Francesco. And she's vibrant, full of life. It's like, oh, I'm pleased to meet you. It's a wonderful to meet you. I hope you enjoy the party. I'm going to great expense to make it happen. I understand that you are a Lasombra. That is so wonderful. I've never met a Lasombra. And she proceeds to just not let him have a moment to speak. And Francesco, to his credit, is very gracious and nods and politely kind of escorts her away from the Justicar as not to offend her with the constant chatter. And manages to negotiate that and just kind of nods to Damien as this is a good enough transition for him to break away from him.
That's what I'll do, and I'll go look for persona number 1 in his list of people to ingratiate myself with.
Well, that would be the prince, and from what you can tell, no one's. You ask, where's Prince Costas, and no one will say, oh, he's not here.
I'll go to number 2.
Okay. Who was number 2? I know Costas was number 1. Who was number 2?
Was Castor also coming to this?
Castor, you mean
the Prince of Providence?
No, he's going to be executed.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't know that.
No, he doesn't. He does not. So you just kind of meander about, try to wait for Costas, go talk to Rufus.
I'll see if I can find some of Costas's children and kind of begin my way in that way.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a charisma plus etiquette to make small talk to find out which the vampires in the room or who's his child are.
Okay.
And so back to Rufus just briefly. Leo will just make sure you have the right contact info. He'll give you some people to contact directly if you don't get time to really get to talk to him and you just gotta get going or whatever. You can just call these people and get something done. But if it's something special that you want, he'll probably need to get it for you. Just let him know. You guys kind of go over those semantics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll finish up with him and then politely excuse myself and head over to Lucin.
Okay. All right. So it looks like a 7. Oh wait, nope. A 10, a 10, an 8, and a 7. Okay, with the 2
And then
ones.
2 1s.
So the 2 10s go away. So 2, 8, and a 7. So you would find out that Arthur Telamon, the Venture Primogen, and that would be pointed out to you, is the child of Costas. The Seneschal. Where did I have his name? It's in here somewhere though. Hans von Hora points about to. He is also a child of Costas. He's only a child in the Seneschal, but it's some sort of trust thing apparently for Costas to have someone so young there. And supposedly he has another child, but she doesn't actually live in the city.
Okay. I will begin my ingratiation process then with his progeny.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another Charisma plus etiquette roll just to make small talk with Telamon and just find out what he's all about.
Again with the 1s.
Damn.
It's a theme for the night.
Evidently.
Yeah, he'll talk to Telamon. You'll find out with talking to him that he was a former Archon, so he is a status of 5 as well. And he's resided in Boston for the last 100 years or so after resigning as an Archon. And his sire closed off the city due to a lot of problems with the Tremere overpopulating and the Sabbat always targeting Boston. So everything's been closed for the longest time, and now he's anticipating his sire opening up the city because all the Tremere are leaving. So you kind of get that through some basic conversation and just kind of small talk. That's what seems to be on the buzz for the evening, and why everyone thinks you guys are here is because of the Tremere.
Why are the Tremere leaving? Do we know?
You might know. Warwick would tell you that the Tremere are the central area for the Tremere was once Boston. The major chancery for North America was in Boston, and it's now being moved to Manhattan. And so what was once a large population of Tremere in Boston is now going to exist in the 5 boroughs.
See.
So Damien would get that kind of rough idea too, that the Tremere are leaving. And they're going,
And he
and that's
doesn't know
why
why.
he doesn't know why. No, the Nosferatu would know that the Chantry is changing. And is someone like firing a cannon? What's happening?
Oh, sorry. Apparently some of the local hoodlums are celebrating the 4th a little early.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, just as long as I understand what's actually happening. It's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
there's cannon fire in the background.
No, I wish I could do something about it, but...
Okay. So, as you're talking to Telamon, he kind of gives you most of that information and kind of ramps down to, so you're not here for the Tremere then?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Hmm.
Although, if you or your sire has any need of me, I am at your disposal.
Would you be willing to tell me what's going on?
From what I know, my master has long intended to ingratiate himself with the Camarilla. He plans on gaining full membership into the Camarilla, and as such, Lucinda has been graceful enough to my sire to appoint me to the rank of Archon and attempt to get the La Sombra anti-tribu at least some kind of recognition within the Camarilla.
And you think you're going to be successful at that?
I intend to be successful.
Well, I know better that some anti-tribu are perhaps worth trust. I don't know how many more of my peers were going to agree with me. How do you intend to have them cooperate with you?
The anti-tribute or the Archons?
You commanding any other Camarilla members? Do you anticipate them giving you a great deal of trouble?
I anticipate some amount of trouble just given my status and given my clan's previous associations. However, like you stated, not all anti-tribute are the same as others. You know, obviously, there's some anti-tribute that don't share our agreement with the Camarilla. My job is basically to pave the way for those that do, in order to gain their rightful place and be able to break away from some of those negative stereotypes, and especially the Sabbat.
Yes, I think that's going to be quite difficult. I was more curious as to Lucen's intentions with a coterie of Archons. When I operated on my own. I didn't operate with a group. What is she intending to do with all of you?
I know not exactly what her plans are, only that she sees fit to have a group of Archons functioning within the group of themselves.
This wouldn't be another group of, let's say, patsies that she could use to kill the white whale of hers.
I certainly hope not. If we are to kill this white whale, I'm hoping that it's definitely within the limits of the masquerade and ordered by a prince who would know.
He'll have a very thin smile, and, well, I suppose she wouldn't make it obvious to people who wouldn't know. I suppose you'll find out soon enough. You may want to ask her child about it. But I would be careful about what she's telling you to do. If you can find it within your cold, unbeating heart to tell me what your coterie is up to, I might be able to help you in the future somehow.
Not sure that out of character, I'm not sure that I should tell him just yet, considering I just met him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to word my way around it as best I can. More just telling him that, as far as what I know, we're going to be operating basically on a ways to regain some of the favor that I heard she'd lost. Yeah, some of her actions had not been the most favorable of actions among some of the elders.
Yes, her white whale.
Yeah.
Well, I hope for your sake that she just simply didn't find someone desperate enough to join the Camarilla to help her die on this crusade, but you do seem to have your wits about you, so that's at least something.
I thank you.
He'll hand you a card. If you would need to contact me again, or if you hear anything that you think might be relevant for me, I will certainly make it worth your while.
I appreciate the offer, and I'll keep you in mind. It's always a pleasure to have powerful friends, especially former Archons.
Indeed, and it is intriguing to meet a La Sombra, and maybe to be able to call one ally might be novel. You'll kind of nod. If you'll excuse me, I see some of my clan I must speak with.
Absolutely.
He'll nod and depart. Does anyone else want to do anything in particular, as everyone are still seem to be mingling about? Or if I forgot something? No? Okay. So everyone will mingle about. Rufus will head over to Lucent. Lucent will make sure to mention to Rufus that I am going to instruct the rest to do what they can to make sure that you are the one that is slaying the Masquerade Breachers. I have decided to try to honor that request. Just ensure that I make sure to communicate that to them.
Thank you.
She starts to go into something else, as if to explain something. She looks like she's going to like monologue a bit, and the elevators will open, and they haven't opened probably for the last 20 minutes or so. It seemed like most of the people who was going to show up had shown up. And the doors open, and Majesty pushes out of it. And there's a man in his early 40s standing almost at 6 foot, very broad shoulders, a fine tailored suit with a expensive gold-headed cane, and his features are very rough and sharp, very strong Eastern European face that's looked like it had been weathered and seen a lot of battle before he was embraced. And he walks with a very methodical and deliberate pace, the cane clunk going out before he moves. As he enters, the room goes quiet, and Lucen will mention to the others around him that is Prince Costas. And he will walk directly over to Lucen, Mistress Belladonna, immediately coming up beside him and just chattering away about how the party was and how difficult it was for her and how, she went through all this difficulty for him, and that's, she's just kind of blathering on and on and on as he kind of walks over to I guess it's right now the 4 of them or 5 of them, and he bows very slightly to Lucen and says, "Madame Justicar, it is a pleasure to see you again." She smiles and says, "It is good to see you again as well, Costas," or, sorry, Prince Costas. And they proceed to talk a little shop about who they've been hunting for the last few months. And it seems that Costas has been unsuccessful at tracking his latest prey and came home out of frustration. So they seem to be just kind of having a bit of a chat. Does anyone want to say or do anything to Costas or join those two as they are speaking?
I will.
Okay.
I look visibly disgruntled, but I will say nothing.
I want to as well, but I just want to listen.
Okay. They, like I said, they talk a little bit of shop, and Telemon will come over and make his introductions, and what you can tell must be the Primogen Council, as Ellery, as from what Natalia knows, Belladonna sticks around, Leo comes over, and another individual comes over, and they just begin speaking. And so you all 4 are kind of caught in an impromptu Primogen Council meeting with the Prince Costas. And they are scared shitless. They're terrified. There has been a few Sabbat attacks that Lazy Boy, apparently the Scourge, and Maggie have been able to suppress and deal with before they got out of control. But they're convinced that there's at least 2 or 3 Sabbat packs in the city, and that the Tremere are leaving, that the Sabbat know the Tremere have left already, and they're starting to test the boundaries. So, Telemon is very frantic and emphatic about strengthening the security. Elleroy, who's a Nosferatu Primogen, can't seem to keep track of them. It's a lot of chaos, and the Archons get an impression from the outside that these individuals haven't had a lot of conflict in this domain for a long time, and they've kind of gotten a little complacent, and now they're kind of scrambling. Costas hears it all, kind of takes it all, makes sure everyone's heard, and doesn't really respond to any of it. He just turns and looks to Lucen and goes, "Are you ready, Madame Justicar, for the coronation?" The puppy is apparently ready. And she nods and goes, "Please, let us begin." The Primogen, as a group, look a little put out, but they kind of disperse back into the crowd. And Costas slams his cane on the floor with a little bit of force, stronger than probably a man in his late 40s or early 40s, and goes, "Citizens of Boston, I bid you good evening, and thank you for attending this gala. This evening, we give titles and honors and prestige to these individuals here. He turns and gestures to the Archons. These individuals are pledging themselves to the betterment and safety of the Camarilla, to serve and dutiful respect all of Lucin, Venture Justicar's commands, and in so much they grant or granted the full powers and protections of Archonship. Madam Justicar, he kind of gestures to Lucin. He goes, "Thank you, Prince Costas. I will introduce my Archons to you, so you shall know their names and respect them." And she turns and goes, "This is Natalia Shadrika." Did I say that right? Shadrika?
Sabrinka, yeah.
Of Clan Nosferatu. This is Rufus Sterling Parker, Clan Brugia. This is Melissa Tremblay, my child, and Archon of Clan Ventru. This is Lord Arthur, King of all he surveys, and Archon of Clan Malkavian. And she last gestures to Damien. This is Damien, the Somber Anti-Tribune, Camarilla Supplicant, and now devoted Archon. There's a little bit of a murmuring with the last one. And she shifts her head back and forth across the room, and in that slight motion, the murmuring flats. These are a few of my Archons. I still have a Archon of Octavius. He is of Clan Tremere, but he looks around and says, as Clan Tremere is not present this evening, he must be with his clan and will be arriving shortly. I thank you all for hearing my words and respecting my Archons as if myself. There's a slight golf clap that goes, a polite golf clap that goes across the room, and the blind orchestra begins to play again. Lucin turns to her Archons and says, "Well, the basic formalities out of the way. The rest of the evening, as far as the party is ours, and we'll be leaving for Providence tomorrow evening."
The rest of the evening is ours.
Yes.
I must bid you adieu then.
Okay.
I bow.
So she nods, and you take on off.
I will actually be looking for the Scourge.
Okay.
This lazy boy.
Lazy boy. Okay, you're looking for Lazy Boy. What's Rufus doing?
I'm actually going to talk to Damien.
Okay.
So, Rufus kind of approaches Damien and just kind of waves to try and get his attention.
Okay, I'll head over.
So, Damien, I'm sorry I didn't say so last night. I was a bit distracted. I'm intrigued by your desire to join the Camarilla, and it's a truly noble cause, and I hope you are up to the task.
Thank you. I plan to do everything that I can to make a good spot in the Camarilla for the anti-tributes like myself.
Rufus extends his hand and says, if I can be of assistance in your efforts, by all means.
Absolutely, I'll take his hand. Thank you very much. If ever you have need of me, you know exactly where to find me.
I do. Thank you. I'm sure you have business here this evening. I'll leave you to it.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You as well. And Rufus is going to mingle about the party for a little bit, just kind of get a feel for Boston and the people who are here.
Okay. Does Melissa or Natalia or Damien do anything in particular, or are they just going to kind of mingle?
Talia would work the room and see, try and meet some of these other kindred she hasn't met here in Boston before, and see what the general conversation is amongst the city, the kindred of the city.
Go ahead and give me a charisma plus etiquette roll.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
We'll just call it 7s again. It's pretty simple. Most of everyone's obsessing over the Tremere leaving. They're kind of curious why everyone's packing up and going. The Tremere have been in Boston before Boston was really Boston, or modern Boston in that way. They predate most of the kindred that arrived, even Warwick, so people are kind of curious why they're suddenly packing up, and everyone was convinced that it had something to do with you guys, but now that the Tremere aren't even here, that everyone's not so sure that's the case anymore.
Let's see. Okay.
So people would try to hustle boons out of you to try to find out what was going on. Do you try to capitalize on anything like that?
She wouldn't necessarily she wouldn't necessarily give the impression that she understands why the Tremere is leaving either.
Okay.
But she would stay fairly neutral on that.
Okay. Okay. So the evening kind of passes along. There doesn't seem to be much in the way of anything else like going on. The orchestra plays for a time. A few of the kindred leave, and as the party is winding down, the elevator will actually open up again, which is strange since no one saw anyone leave. And a girl dressed in a business suit. I mean, again, much like Lucen, she's probably looks like she's 18 or 19 years old and dressed as if she was a Wall Street executive, but has this strange, like, explorer's fedora on. And she has a couple rough and tumble types with her, dressed in leather and combat webbing and combat gear, and they are dragging a box with them. And as they come into the observation lounge, again, everyone kind of grows silent, and Costas kind of looks over and shows genuine surprise across his face, which is remarkable for the stoic Elder Ventru. And Lucen will turn to the kind of group and say, "That is Gwen Baines. That is one of Costas' other Chaldar. She's not supposed to be here." And she...
I will perk up from the corner.
I'm sorry?
I will perk up from the corner while I've been talking with this Scourge.
Okay. She comes in and heads over to those individuals. You saying you're not going to be talking to the Scourge while this happens, or?
No, I will actually walk over at this point.
Oh, okay. What did you want to speak to the Scourge about briefly? Because I was about to do that scene with you, but okay. What would you want to speak with him?
we can do that then. Basically, I was going to see if he had any need for any help or advice in dealing with the Sabbat, as I was both a sheriff for the better part of 50 years, as well as a Sabbat attack survivor.
Lazy boy, it just kind of, well, yeah, thanks, Lord Archon, but I don't know. If you're staying, sure, we could use the help, but there's sure a lot of them.
Perhaps I can return after our business is attended to elsewhere.
Oh, okay. But if you're sticking around, I could use the help. And scratches himself.
Have me for tonight. My advice, anyway.
So, you have that brief interaction with him, and then this individual comes in, and then we'll just link you up there. And you head over as this gal is walking up to Costas and has a big shit-eating grin on her face. And as she comes up, they just kind of drop the crate in front of Costas, and she goes, "Prince of Boston, my sire and devoted child of Ventru, I have a gift for you." And she gestures to the lid and opens it up, and inside is what seems to be a reasonably attractive man with long brown hair, dressed in biker clothes with a stake stuck in his heart. And there is a giant claymore sitting across his chest. This, my father, my love, my everything, is your bane, your hatred. It is Jeremy McNeil. It is my gift to you. LA is mine. I have claimed it. And she says that with a bit of smugness to him. He gives her a strange look, kind of like an uncertainty look, and goes, "Very well. Thank you for this gift, Childer. I shall treasure it." And they kind of close up the lid and move it off to the side. And Costas kind of looks at her, "If you will excuse me," and he grabs Gwen, kind of like politely with the cane, kind of directs her off to the side, and they proceed to have a conversation in private.
I will use my heightened senses to listen in, if you will.
Okay. Does anyone else want to? I'm sorry. Go ahead. What?
Can I eavesdrop too?
Sure.
What's the role?
No, it's fine. You can just eavesdrop. It's not a big thing.
Yeah.
If anyone else has heightened senses, feel free to eavesdrop.
Yeah.
Yep.
The basic nature of the argument is apparently way back when Costas was first granted Boston by the Inner Circle, McNeil was the eldest Bruja in the city and caused all sorts of trouble for him. And at one point had to flee the city because he was starting to cause open rebellion against Costas. He has been the only person who has been bold enough to dare Costas's domain, as it was a gift by the Inner Circle. So it was kind of a big old thumb, it was kind of like a big old rub of his nose, and just kind of didn't particularly care for it. And the idea that she was able to track down and capture McNeil and take his domain, which is LA, supposedly, as far as she's concerned, is kind of like a one-upping his sire, or her sire, and kind of shoving this achievement in his face. Something that he could never do. Or really never got time to do. And he's less than pleased at her for bringing him here, causing all that problem on the West Coast, likely causing all sorts of backlash to come towards Boston now, and so he's just like livid for her for doing that.
Does her aura show any signs of deception?
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Alrighty. Aura.
Feel free if anyone else wants to make the roll for her.
What's the role?
It's, I believe, perception empathy, I want to say. Difficulty
I believe
8.
so. I'm double checking.
Difficulty 8.
I have all the perception, but
Mine's on there now.
It's a lot of ones.
And I also the just about the right number of tens to cancel them out.
Holy cow. I'm blaming you, Dan.
I don't understand why. There we
All
go.
right. My roll.
Alright.
You said perception empathy, right?
Yep, difficulty 8. So, let's see. Melissa knows that she's in fact a vampire. You know that much. Let's see. Natalia knows that she's in fact a vampire and is incredibly, I guess, smug, self-assured, gloating. I mean, that's kind of like her major emotional state right now. She's loving the fact that her sire is furious with her. Damien knows that she's a vampire. Yeah!
Great success.
And let's see. Artha knows that she's a vampire, and roughly the same information as Talia, that she isn't being so much deceitful. Her major emotional state is like excited and ecstatic, and yeah, stuff like that.
I will make a note of this. I'm sure there'll be repercussions. And these things that I say that I'm making notes, I forgot I should have said this way in the beginning. I carry around a notebook that I actually note these things down.
Okay, fair enough. Write it down. Okay. So that's...
Let it get stolen.
Yeah, wait, that will happen eventually. So
It's written in code, the way only Arthur can read it.
So Earth is written down in his super secret spy language with his decoder ring on his notebook. And he's making those notes, and the prince and his child seem to be arguing. While they're arguing for the next, like, 2 or 3 minutes, does anyone do anything in particular? Lucid is just watching with kind of some fascinating. It's like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen him that mad.
Was I able to speak to him before the whole debacle?
No, sadly not. Amy, who is like the very mousy, stringy-haired gal that was in with you, she was the Toreador. She's kind of like, well, I don't know what's happening exactly.
Natalia would actually start to actually mask, what is that, actually disappear? Which one is that? Completely vanish. And head over towards the elevator. She doesn't like all the people coming out of this elevator for no particularly good reason. So she's just gonna take it up. It just doesn't seem right. So she's gonna take up a position near that side of the room.
Okay. So you vanish and head to that side of the room. Fair enough.
And kind of quietly just watch and observe the rest of what's going on there.
Okay. So they argue for a few more minutes, and she seems to just get up and go. It's whatever, however they kind of resolve it in the end is more the effect of, here's your prize. If you don't like it, that's too bad. And his response to that is, well, I didn't ask for McNeil. I didn't ask for this backlash. You take him. And she just kind of walks away and just leaves him there. So everyone watches this Gwen Baines, one of his childer, supposedly the now Prince of L.A., leave and kind of snub her sire.
Damn.
Yeah, that didn't go well. So, after the child Gwen departs, Costas doesn't stay very much longer. He begins to leave, and I know Damien and Francesco are both attempting to kind of intercept him before he gets out, but his momentum to leave and their inability to kind of extricate themselves in a way that doesn't look a little obvious, like just chasing after him, basically, which wouldn't look particularly good. He kind of storms out in a very quick fashion after his child and leaves the rest of you there kind of just standing. Mistress Belladonna, now with Francesco gone, she comes back over to Lucin and begins chatting her up constantly, just asking her endless questions about what she thinks of the tower, what she thought of the party, what she thinks of the guests, what she thought of the food and the wine, and just all sorts of kind of particular named questions. After a few moments, Lucin will excuse herself and try to extricate herself from Mistress Belladonna. Does everyone just kind of stare at it as it happens? Do you guys do anything particular? I know the Nosferatu's watching the door.
I'm examining the box that has the Bruges in it.
I'm sorry?
I'm examining the box that has Bruges in it.
Oh, okay. Looks like pretty standard shipping crate. Definitely a very tall, pretty well-defined Scottish man. Long, brown hair goes down to his, I think down to his waist.
Hmm. I poke at the edge of the stake, but I don't make any attempt to remove it.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can find Talamon again.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably easy enough to do.
Okay. I'm going to offer him my services in dealing with the problem that's now there.
You say that, and what problem would that be?
Well, it's quite clear that your sire doesn't specifically care for this act here placed by Gwen. If there's some way I can help either remove the situation or try to prevent whatever backlash this has caused, we're more than happy to help with our resources.
Well, I am not particularly as concerned about a bunch of rabble coming to Boston and thinking they're going to cause trouble. Concerned with the Sabbat, quite frankly. That one, he kind of gestures to the box, is old business. Something that needed to be resolved a long time ago. I just think she wanted to show up her side.
Agreed, but is leaving him here the best possible course of action?
It may not be, but I'm certain someone will take him. He kind of just looks at it like he doesn't want to pick it up, like it's like a turd, basically. He's like, nope, thank you.
I'm assuming everyone else is kind of looking at it like that too.
Is Arthur obfuscated, JJ? I don't know if he's there. I think Arthur is looking at the box, so he's probably the only one who has any interest in the box or any other person's or vampire in the box. Otherwise, everyone's staying far, far away from it.
Okay. I will go up to my sire then and tell him my plan of removing said box from the party. Because it's quite clear that this is not something that needs to be here.
Yes, that might be the case, but this isn't our domain. I wouldn't do that.
Well, we were unable to meet with the prince himself.
Yes, he
Further course of action
was rather quick in and out. We'll just have to find another opportunity. I don't know if there's a way to use this as an opportunity. I wouldn't want to take it from him and make him ask for it back or think that we're going to handle something for him and we don't even know what would be coming at us. So I think it's best just to leave it be.
As you wish.
So the coordination will begin to wind down, and more of the kindred will begin to leave. Do the group do anything in particular, or do you guys talk to anyone else, or do you guys pretty much just wait to head back, go about your businesses?
I was going to try and get Leo's attention again.
Okay.
I wanted to ask him, who McNeil was.
Okay. So you're gonna ask about McNeil.
Yeah.
Is anyone else? Who's anyone else?
I was just wondering, do we all know where we're meeting tomorrow night for the next to leave for Providence and all?
Yes.
Okay. Then I would probably leave with Warwick whenever he was ready to make the trip back.
Okay. So you guys will head out pretty fast, and we'll do the scene with both Nosferatu in a second. We'll do the quick scene with Leo and Rufus. Leo seems to be talking to some other individuals who are leaving, and as you approach him, he excuses himself from that conversation and immediately kind of goes over to Rufus. What can I do for you, Lord Harkon?
I'm curious as to the history with this McNeil character.
Jeremy McNeil. He was just, well, he's clan. He caused a bit of trouble around here, late 1800s, and got himself a lot of trouble. He was skipping a lot of towns, a lot of cities back then, and I think he just ended up on the West Coast because it was safest for him, quite frankly.
Hmm.
Can't imagine what's happening to LA right now if he's here.
Was he an anarch then?
Yeah, I mean, he was an anarch. But, he kind of kept the city, I guess, running. Something like that. I've never been myself.
No, I've never been that far west either. Well, this seems to be winding down.
Yeah.
I'll be, taking my leave shortly.
Well, just let me know. If you get that list tonight, otherwise just call those people and they'll get you squared away.
Should be a short list. I'll give you a call later tonight.
So you guys part ways.
Yep.
And the group heads back to the Hyatt. Is anyone not heading back to the Hyatt themselves immediately? No? Yes? Okay, so I'll assume that most people are going either back to where they were the previous night then. The Nosferatu go or sending him back that direction. Damien heads back with his sire, and Arthur heads back to the Super 8. Melissa and Rufus head back to the Hyatt itself. While the Nosferatu are in the sewers, Goblin will ask Natalia what she thinks is going on with the Tremere.
Well, I think it seems as though they're relocating themselves to Manhattan. Is the rumor I've heard, and that they're they're relocating. I guess that's the best word to say. They've changed their headquarters.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious why you thought that, or what you thought was going on. But
Oh,
right.
I don't know that I know their primary motivations.
Out of all those dealings, you don't know anything about the Tremere enough to guess what they're up to?
Oh, well. Maybe consolidation? No, I don't. I wish I did. I know that I've heard that they're sounds like a vacuum somewhere. I'm not really sure where that is. No, I can't really say why they would, after all this time, pick up out of Boston and move to New York. Have you heard any rumors here from the individuals here in Boston yourself?
No, I thought maybe you knew something about the Tremere that I didn't, and could lend some insight. But alright. I'm not sure what that deal is.
It does seem a little drastic after all these years. Have you heard that they've been having any troubles with the Chantry here in Boston? That would make them leave?
No. I think that's why everyone was convinced it had something to do with you all.
Well, if it has, they haven't told us.
All right. So you guys head on back to your various Nosferatu layers. And the individuals who had head back to the Hyatt, when they head back with Lucen, discover... What's the one's name? A man in his late 50s, early 60s, dressed in a similar attire to Costas, seems to be waiting for Lucen and the group while you arrive. There are... Let's see, where is my numbers here? Over here. There is 3 other individuals, I got that right? 3 individuals with him. A younger woman, probably in her mid-20s, another woman in her mid-30s, and then another gentleman in his late 20s. One of these things does not look like the other, as the other 3 are very English and Caucasian, and he is very Latin. So all of you are walking up, and they are waiting in like the foyer for the group as they arrive. Lucen nods and says, "Lord Church, what are you doing here? Why did you not attend the coronation?" And he bows very deeply and says, "Well, Lucen, it seems that our chantry was attacked by one of our known rogues, a creature by the name of Thaddeus. He attacked the chantry during the coordination. He used our weakened state to steal some individuals and some books that I believe he had wanted for some time. Namely my child Roland, and some rather difficult to come by occult texts. You know as well as I know that the Tremere have attempted to get Thaddeus on the red list I don't know how many times now, and now he has done this. I am asking you, Lucen, as a favor, to resolve this issue before he leaves, as I know exactly where he is right now. He doesn't think we know. Lucen kind of nods, and you guys leave the general area and go into the conference room, and he proceeds to tell the group how this Thaddeus and his child, and apparently he has gargoyles, attacked the now what was near empty Boston Chantry, and knew exactly where to go and exactly what to grab, and killed a couple neonates, grabbed Roland, and left. He believes us already gone, which is why I believe he acted the way he did. We were supposed to have been already gone, but we were delayed. Lucin kind of takes it all in, kind of nods, and once he's finished, and he just kind of turns and looks to her and says, well, is this something you can do? Is this something you can handle? And she kind of looks him in the eyes and says, I mentioned to my Archons that I needed to go and speak with my sire within as soon as I could, and that only the coordination was what was keeping me. I cannot stay. I just cannot. I must go. I believe that we can resolve this issue for you, as this might be the only opportunity we have to destroy this Thaddeus. And he kind of nods. I remember you've mentioned him a few times in the past. If this will appease Clan Tremere and insist, or at least assist your clan in making the transition smooth, I believe we can assist you. I will speak with my Archons as far as dealing with the problem. Just make sure to get the information either to myself or to one of my lictors. And he kind of nods. I hope that it won't cause any undue stress for your Archons or cause any problems with your timeline. And Lucin's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. We will address this issue for Clan Tremere and handle it before it gets out of hand. Before he goes, he makes some brief introductions. The ladies that are with him are regents that are going to be residing in New York and Aisling Sturbridge, and the once Tremere Primogen of Boston, Helena, are heading to New York, while the Eugene Genie here is going to be the new Tremere Boston Primogen. And he makes some pleasantry for a little while, but then he excuses himself to let you all deliberate and decide what you're going to do. They hang around kind of outside, and it seems that Raj and Apollo and Vincent, one of the other children of Lucin, occupy them while you all talk. And she says, again, I have to go. I need to take care of this with my sire. I ask you all to handle this for Clan Tremere, as this will ensure that they're a little bit more happy with how the Red List turned out. It's difficult to get people put on that list, and I know how beneficial it could be for all of us if we befriend ourselves with Clan Tremere on the onset.
Understood.
I'm certain Lord Church will give us as much information as he has. He won't withhold any information. Just be careful when dealing with elder thaumaturgists. They tend to have a lot of tricks. And so after a time, she'll get up and get the information from Lord Church, and he'll debrief you guys as far as where you need to go. It's some Victorian mansion that once was a plantation, and it's on the outskirts of Boston itself. So you get that information, and that it was this Thaddeus, a woman who was believed to be his childer, and two gargoyles that had attacked the Chantry.
Well, I believe they must be destroyed as they have violated the traditions. The right of destruction belongs to the elders.
Indeed.
Oh, so was here since no heard this.
I didn't quite hear that, Grace.
So how much of our is everyone in our group here? I mean in game.
Mm-hmm. At least you 5 are. Rook and Amy are not here.
All right. I got confused. I thought Natalia went already returned with the Nosferatu.
Oh, that's right. I apologize. Right, it was.
Stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, right. It was. Natalia wasn't there. It was the Nosferatu, and I think JJ had left. I'm sorry, not JJ. Arthur had left as well. Did he not?
Arthur had started he had been poking at the he'd been poking at the stake, and when I was sent back to the with him.
I think I maybe heard a word of that.
Yeah, you're breaking up all of a sudden.
Arthur had been examining the box that Rouge had been in, but when it was time to go back, he actually accompanied everybody else.
Oh, fair enough. So I guess it's really just the Nosferatu that wasn't there.
Yeah, and I mean they know how to get a hold of me. I mean Lucien would have a number to reach Natalia at if she needed her at a moment's notice in that way.
Okay.
Was I heading off with my sire, or would I have been there at the Hyatt?
Your sire probably would have attempted to reconnect with Lucien, or at least get you reconnected with the Archons. Given that you had met him on the boat, he probably would have. You guys would have traveled back to the Hyatt together, but you might have separated at that point.
Okay.
So yeah, all right. Once the information is given, the Tremere depart pretty quickly, and Raj will arrange for transportation for whoever wants to go out there, because essentially it's up to the group as far as how they want to handle it. They have at their disposal a Raj and Apollo if they're so inclined. And Raj again was the neonate Bruja, and Apollo was the neonate Ventrue.
Well, what do we know about the target, other than he's a thaumaturgist apparently attacking, capable of attacking a chantry
Yes.
with his own gargoyles.
Yes, to show that maybe thaumaturgist as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So what information did the Tremere provide?
That was what the Tremere provided. They didn't really give a lot of details as far as what he was capable of, or what he was known to be capable of doing. They just gave the location of where he's residing and how to get there, and then what they feel is the account of who attacked the Chantry itself.
Okay.
So just location and that's it.
Well, yeah, and some numbers, right? We're 2 gargoyles, this guy Thaddeus, and a childer of his. So minimum of 4 targets.
Was it 1 childer or 2?
I thought it was 1, but I might have misheard.
Nope, 2 gargoyles.
Okay.
You know, plantation outside of Boston, so there's probably lots of open space to cover.
I don't know much about what sorcery, but you can imagine they must have some way of detecting intruders.
There's probably that as well.
Not to mention what kind of sorcerer's traps they may have laid on any part of the land. if in fact they are not just in a improvised hideout.
So, surprise may be difficult to come by.
I can handle mundane security. Just what about thaumaturgical?
I don't think subterfuge and stealth are going to win the day on this one.
Seems like that'll be a difficult course. Perhaps a distraction
Well,
to help us move in.
I think my abilities would probably benefit you most in causing a distraction.
I believe myself or Lady Natalia should be able to cast obfuscate over the group to cloak gathering and get us as close as possible, assuming we don't set off any other alarms or ward.
The other lady is the other lady. The other lady isn't here though.
I'm sure we could get a hold of her and have her meet us at a rendezvous point.
Perhaps we should call her now. She may have valuable input.
Hello.
So,
Oh.
I'm going to... Oh, there we go.
Natalia here. How can I help you?
We you know how in the party they were talking. They were the status of the Tremere with all the rage in the coronation party.
Yes, I heard.
They have something going on. They have something going on. So basically, one of theirs was abducted. We might need your assistance.
All right, where are you? I'll come to you.
I'll give her the location where the location Daddy is.
You're at the Hilton, right?
And we're at the Hilton right now.
Okay, I can be there quickly, just momentarily. I'm on my way. So I try to make my way there as quickly as possible, whether that's by taxi or hired car or whatever.
Okay.
The Hilton.
Okay, you can arrive at the Hilton.
Okay. So I'm there, guys. What's our target? Where are we headed, guys?
We're going to a Victorian house outside of town that is containing a Tremere, his child, at least 2 gargoyles, several valuables that may be valuable to us, and favors that we can exact later from the Tremere clan to retrieve, as well as 1 captured child of the current, or I should say departing Tremere regent. So it's a hostage situation as well as an assault.
Interesting. All right. And when are we leaving? Are we prepared?
I would say we are not yet prepared. We don't have a plan of attack.
What I have. The target is a thaumaturgist. As you can see here, we do not have a Tremere.
Yeah.
True. That it does leave us at a bit of a disadvantage. I have out of game. Do I know do I know anything about thaumaturgy and veil? If I veil us, if thaumaturgy can see through that kind of thing.
No, I don't. You have kindred lore, right?
Yes.
Okay. You don't know of any thaumaturgical power or ritual that would probably do that, no. It's usually just aspects.
Okay. Right, and he's Tremere, and that's in clan, isn't it? Aspects for them?
Yep.
So there's a good chance he's probably pretty excellent.
Wasn't there a Tremere Archon who was supposed to be part of our team, an Octavian?
Octavius.
Octavius. Raj, do you have a way of contacting this Octavius?
Yeah, we've been trying to get a hold of him all night. I don't know where the heck he is. Let me try calling him again. He'll get up and get on his cell phone and try calling him again for you.
A little suspicious, isn't it? That he disappears.
Suspicious or of ill omens, yes. If he was assaulted before this because the thaumaturgist knew that he had planned to take out the Tremere Chantry, they may have taken out the Archon in town first.
Yes. Hmm.
How long do we have before sunrise?
Probably a few hours.
So we have to move quick if we're going to do this tonight. There's only a few hours of safety remaining.
So there's also no time to get advanced supplies either.
Not a lot.
Because the thing is, Rufus, because the thing is, we don't gonna have guns to go.
Well, I think we can probably handle that quickly enough.
If they show overwhelming force, maybe in order.
Yes, I mean, and I can veil us to a certain point. Someone with a lot of power and talent may be able to sense us coming, however. But we will have a certain amount of veil for a period. It's really impossible to say for how long.
Could we move in 2 groups?
I believe so.
I have the power.
I completely lost audio there for a minute.
Yeah, me too.
I also have the ability to cloak more than one person, so yes, we could strike from 2 groups.
It seems that if we don't have surprise, we could perhaps split their strength. Pin them.
Okay.
So a pinch maneuver then. Hit from 2 sides and pin them in the middle.
Yeah.
So
If it's going to be overwhelming force, I think we should pin them from multiple sides and not give them anywhere to run.
So do away with the idea of stealth then?
And I think you're right, Rufus. I think to make this happen successfully, it has to be this evening. I don't. If we wait, they'll be gone.
How are we situated on weaponry? Are you all armed?
I pull out my blade and brandish it a little bit. This is all I need. It's a big sword.
Yeah.
I'm armed, but she has a knife, one of our knives.
I believe I can make a call and get us some firearms quick this evening. We're rushing though, so I'm not sure we'll have the full inventory available.
You need to touch me firearms. This is all what I need. I sheathe my blade.
Yep.
Oh, Lance could use some firearms.
Well, just give me a quick count, some numbers, and I'll see what I can do.
I would be quite useless with a firearm, so none for me.
Okay.
There's also 5 of us. How should we split?
Well, 6 if you include Lance. I'm sure he'd prefer to be included in the assault. He prefers the, how does he say it? Auto shot?
Okay.
I'll go and retrieve my own weapons and meet you there.
Fair enough.
I want to get, since you can, I need guns too.
Okay. I'll step out of the room, cell phone in hand, to make a quick phone call.
Okay. When you head out into the hallway, Raj seems to be dialing and redialing, and he sees you come out. And says, I can't get a hold of him. He was supposed to be with his clan and meet everybody at the coronation, and none of them showed up. And of course, now with that, I know he's weird and old, but he's not like he can't pick up a phone. No offense. He kind of gestures to you.
None taken.
So I don't think that's good. I think something may have happened to him. I'll go tell the others.
That sounds right. I don't suppose you have any wizardry that would let you locate his phone.
Sure, it's just like an app, but I've tried getting a hold of him and figuring out where it is. It hasn't responded.
Oh, well, thank you for your efforts.
And heads back in.
Yeah. I'll dial up Leo and...
Okay. You call up Leo. Leo's like, "Hello, who's this?"
So, something's going down. We need some firepower tonight.
Okay. How much?
So, let's see, by my count, we needed arms for 3 individuals.
Okay.
High caliber, automatic fire, or
Okay.
pluses. I realize it's a rush, so whatever you got.
Well, for the Lord Archon, I can probably get something rushed pretty quick for a minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
All right, that's easy enough. Minor favor, and I can get you something nice. So, where are you?
We're at
You wanted
the...
me to drop him. Is maybe more of the point.
Yeah. I think you can drop them at the Hyatt.
Sure.
Yeah.
Give me a text me an address, and I'll get someone over there for you.
Okay.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Well, we'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Good luck. You'll hang up.
Yep. I'll hang up as well. I'll go up to my room and fetch a cavalry saber out of my luggage.
Okay. Raj will head back into that room and tell the room, I couldn't get a hold of him. I couldn't pinpoint him. I can't even really figure out where he's at. I know he was supposed to be with his clan before they were showing up, so something probably happened to him.
Did they not mention it while they were here that he was missing?
No, they did not mention it.
In fact, I think the only name they mentioned of someone who was taken was Roland.
Yep, he was more concerned about his child, it seems.
They did mention that there were other casualties.
Yes. Yeah.
There were no names associated with them.
Seems a little weird they didn't mention the Tremere Archon.
That seems very strange to me.
I'll go ahead and make myself scarce, go grab my weapons, and head on out of town.
Okay.
I will collect Lance and have him drive us to the meeting place.
Okay. Within about a half an hour, 3 high-caliber automatic weapons show up with fully loaded and 2 clip reloads for each individual. They are in a very large case, and the individual who dropped them off just says, "Don't get caught with them," and leaves.
I'll easily heft the large case and head back in.
you pretty much you just kind of put it over like a knapsack, like oh okay,
Here, cool, whatever.
you just kind of put it in the trunk,
Yep.
and you head on out. Is anyone want to do anything in particular before they head out to the meeting place, the place where this person is?
Is there any place I can yeah, I can get stuff like rope and flammables?
I don't know. There's probably like a Home Depot that's open 24 hours or something equivalent.
Okay,
If you want something that burns, I'm sure there's a
go.
liquor store that's open.
There's always a liquor store that's open somewhere.
Okay, and I'm also going to get tools for breaking it.
What do you mean tools for breaking in? That's probably not at Home Depot. There isn't like there isn't a home intrusion aisle in Home Depot, just so you know.
That would be great.
hand caps.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be handy as shit. All right. Well, you at least get some rope or whatever, 10-foot pole, while you're at Home Depot, and the rest of you are making your way there. Melissa's probably about as far behind as Rufus is as far as waiting for the weapons. You all will meet. It's way out into the green of New England, so you're surrounded by forest and trees, and there's a very deep primordial sense to New England when you get outside of the cities, that it's just pockets of civilization and just wilderness elsewhere. And this particular house is apparently some sort of old cotton plantation or some sort of textile plantation that existed, and you guys can see it from you guys will eventually pull up into a turnpike, and everybody kind of pulls off the road and agreed to meet in this kind of dirt road area, and it just has a lot of land around it, and up on a hill is a very tall Victorian manor, and everyone go ahead and roll perception plus awareness for me, please.
Awareness or awareness?
Awareness. And it's
I have a couple of those.
What's the difficulty?
6.
That's fine.
Okay. Nice. So, all right. Looks like we got a couple of 3s and 4 successes. And again, we're looking just for 6s. So, and look, if you got at least 1, the house itself looks like a house out of a novel. It has a craggy look to it from the distance. There's lights on in a very almost thematic way. As you all stare at it for a time, lightning crashes behind it for no good particular reason. It's really kind of disconcerting how strange this place is. When you go past the 2s and you get into the 3s, you can tell that the land around the house itself is like kind of gnarled and bent, and the grass itself is very willowy and anemic. The pathway into it, like the gravel is scattered and kind of messed about. It has a very worn down and forgotten feeling to it, and it almost feels like the house is looking at you when you have 3 successes. Someone got 4, didn't they?
I think I got 5 of 6. Is 6 is the difficulty? I think I got 5.
Okay.
I only have 4.
You got 4. All right. So the 4 and plus, this place is not supposed to be here. Like everything about it is clearly like tailored to some sort of spooky nature, and it probably keeps away the mortals, but it's a little crazy how cliche the house is. You know, you're just waiting for the wolf to howl any second now, basically.
Or I'm wondering if I'm in H.P. Lovecraft's novel.
So we have that long, twisting road up into the manor, and the few lights on the house that make the house look like it's staring at you from afar.
Well, so I think if we come at this place with overwhelming force, we're liable to cause potential masquerade breaches. So I'm assuming you're on that, Grace. Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa. I get the character name. Sorry.
What do you, well, I could call off the aftermath, but
And then I open up the
Before it's
cave,
right
kind
there.
of like, to make the point. Like, we're going to start firing whatever's in here, so.
well,
Before we go in running and gunning,
better
perhaps I can
better
take a
make
look
sure there's
around.
no one around.
Yeah.
Make sure no one's around first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look. I'm gonna roll. I want to roll perception and look just to double check.
Sure, feel free. Who's, you said you were sneaking up, Damien? Was I getting that right?
I'm actually going to activate Tenebra's form, but I'm going to let people know not to look at me.
Okay.
As,
Don't look at me! I can't be invisible if you look at me.
Well, it's more because there's repercussions for people that aren't used to it.
Sure.
So rather than take that chance that they could take debilitating courage rolls, I'll just go ahead and warn them and say I would suggest diverting your eyes ever so slightly, and then
Well, this sucks.
turn myself into a
guys?
giant shadow thing. And
Yeah?
Guys, I'm going to surveil this area with my astral projection.
Okay. So we
That
got
sounds
one,
like a great idea.
we got one going in astrally and one going in under shadows. Alright.
Do you want to stay in the car?
Yeah.
Physically stay in the car then?
If you guys could watch my body and make sure that undue damage does not come upon it while I'm out of myself, I would appreciate it.
Lance is probably pretty accustomed to this procedure.
Oh, yes,
Well,
he's-
I have to
he's
put
quite-
my mark down.
So, Tenebra's form and astral form, Wonder Twins unite. What do you both
I'm
off
going
to
to
do?
make my way up towards the house using the shadow as a pathway.
Okay. I assume you're doing much the same? Arthur, keeping the Britons?
I am pretty much doing the same thing. I will, as I can travel ridiculously fast, 1,000 miles per hour, in fact. I will be going in the opposite direction whichever way he goes, and I will meet him in the middle.
All right. So you start heading on in, and you whip around the house. Like you said, you go so much faster, and you swing into the house, and you smack right against the wall. You can't seem to enter the house. Like, bam.
Do we see any part of him turning?
No,
red?
he's in the astral plane.
So I
Okay.
basically lifted out of my body with the expenditure of willpower point, flung myself at the house, and smacked into something that is solid to me as if I were my normal body.
Yeah, you pulled a Wile E. Coyote on the house.
Excellent.
Didn't really hurt. It was just like a mental block. Tenebra's form dude is making his way on over. The shadows in this place are a little strange. They're all over the place. They move with you, they move against you. You would swear this person has some sort of control of tenebration because the shadows, as you get closer and closer to the house, are deep and plentiful and kind of take on unnatural shapes and forms that make strange creatures in the shadows.
It's alright, darkness is my friend.
Yeah, you're like, whatever, cool. Normal abyss stuff, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'll use his own shadows against him.
So you're making your way in. You don't seem to have the similar problem he does as you eke through the house, essentially, and are in a Victorian mansion. I assume Arthur will attempt to enter the house in a different angle and will be met with multiple problems as he keeps trying to enter the house. Go ahead, Arthur, and give me a intelligence occult check.
Oh, I got all of that. Let me.
Would I also have noticed some kind of barrier?
No, you didn't notice anything. You just went right in.
Fantastic.
Yay, obtenebration. You're alone in the house. It's eerily quiet. The house groans and creaks in that way that makes it seem as if it was alive and breathing. But there is motion in the house that you can hear elsewhere, but it's hard to determine where it's at. You're pretty sure whatever the hell this thing is still kind of fucking with your senses.
Are there shadows up on the ceiling?
Yeah, there's shadows everywhere. There's not a lot of light, and there's still lots of shadow.
I'll make my way up towards the ceiling and just keep looking down, making my way through the house, trying to locate, first of all, his child that's, I assume, is somewhere in here.
Give me a perception plus investigation. How did we do, Arthur?
I should be appearing soon, but I got 3 successes and an 8 or above. I also got a 1 that took away the first success, so counting the 1, I have 3 successes and an 8 or above.
You're pretty convinced. You've only heard of it a few times, but the place is warded against scrying, which prevents almost all forms of auspex, including astral perceptions. It's particularly powerful thaumaturgy, so it's not something you would run into it very common at all.
Then I will snap back to my body, case may be, however fast that happens. I will open my eyes and I will tell. Was that instantly?
Immediately, like boom, you're back.
Oh, hello.
Okay, I will open my eyes and I will immediately say that the cat can catch the canary, but he won't let the eagle in.
That's a shame. That's a
You
shame.
saw nothing?
So,
I was set as though by a wall of pure thought.
Okay. Well, let's hope Damien fares better.
So, with that roll, Damien will begin to make his way around the house, and there's a lot of goddamn rooms in this kitchen. And it seems that most of them are unoccupied. You even go for the cliche, oh, we'll go down in the basement, and that's pretty clean. Go to the attic, okay. You're moving around, and then you start to actually move within the walls itself and try to kind of find nooks and crannies, thinking that once you haven't discovered anyone, they got to be in this house somewhere. And after a little bit of time, you find what seems to be a secret study, library, something of that nature. It's very simplistic in its nature. It's tucked away in what would have been a much larger library. But what you're assuming to be Thaddeus is a balding man in his late 50s, pudgy belly, dressed very disheveled, modern clothes, but put in a very haphazard way. And he's just engrossed in all these books that are in front of him. And there is a pretty attractive Korean woman in her early 20s, and also a white woman in her late 20s as well. And they seem to be helping him catalog these books.
So he's working with them, whatever this is.
Correct.
Okay. Is there some kind of entrance that I can make out for how to get in here?
Yeah, you can probably reverse it now that you're on the other side.
Okay. So I will make my way slowly back to the group because they haven't noticed me yet.
Nope.
And make my way back out of the house and let them know what I found.
Okay. So you come back, reform as not to disturb your compatriots, and come back into the area. He doesn't take more than another few minutes, and then Damien shows back up.
Oh,
Did we actually get a physical description of Roland?
They would have given you enough descriptions of Thaddeus and Roland to confirm them. Yeah, that's not unreasonable.
Okay, so I didn't see Thaddeus. I know I saw Roland and two girls going over through
I
those
said
books.
Roland. I meant Thaddeus. I apologize. It was Thaddeus.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make more sense since Roland was supposed to be.
Yeah, I was like, I thought he was kidnapped, and he's in
It
here.
seemed like everybody's fine. What are you talking about? Yeah, no, sorry, my apologies.
He's fine. We can go home. Autobots roll out. Well,
There you
let's, I found Thaddeus and his two female friends and whatever. They're hiding in this secret library that I could show them exactly where to find.
Did you find Roland? Or see any sign of the gargoyles?
No gargoyles, no Roland.
Nope.
Well,
I'm assuming if the gargoyles are helping him, they're still somewhere nearby, but we have enough firepower to take them en masse. The hardest part would be finding the librarian Thaddeus himself, and that's taken care of.
So, perhaps we should try and take Thaddeus alive for questioning, since Roland still seems to be missing.
Well, I'm going to go. Well, in that case, I'm going to go make a steak with whatever trees there are near.
Yeah, there's plenty of trees around.
Sure. Yeah, you make a impromptu steak. Not the
Did-
best thing in the world, but it can kind of do the job.
If there's time, I'm gonna make 3 because Arthur said there's 2 other helpers around.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna try to make 3 because Damien says that there are 2 women near helping Thaddeus.
Uh-huh.
but we have one children, so why are there 2?
Huh?
Something's wrong.
We were told there was one child, not
Yeah,
2.
and there are 2 there, so something is wrong. We were given incomplete intelligence, or this is a trap.
Did anybody actually give us an order to eliminate these people? And I know they killed a couple vampires and they talked to Lucinda, but did Lucinda actually give us any kind of order that said we were supposed to kill Thaddeus?
She said to take care of it.
Yeah, and he has violated the 6th tradition, so as far as Arthur is concerned, he dies.
So out of game, the red list is the thing the Ellersters hunt. That's the Camarill's most wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
it's an
basically-
implicit. If you're on the list, you're blood hunted.
So Thaddeus is on the red list.
No. he's
They were
not.
trying to get him on it.
They want him on it. He missed. He didn't make the cut, I guess.
Yeah,
Recently.
It's a little political. But you guys have the Root of Destruction, so you can just go kill him.
So Damien, did you figure the way in? Is there any locked doors and stuff?
I have no idea. I just went right in the front door.
Well, could we go through the side wall?
I could. I don't know for sure how well that physical barriers work for everyone else.
Yeah. And I'm assuming there's only one entrance into that little room.
Only the one that I saw.
Yeah.
Well,
But they tried to disguise it pretty well.
so well, do you want to do this? I think I can. I just have to sneakily break in. And if you guys don't want to eliminate them, you can stake them. Just stake them instead.
Yeah. I would prefer to stake them if possible.
Okay. So I'm gonna hand the stakes to Rufus, and I'm going to use my breaking kit to start breaking, trying to break in without being noticed.
Um,
We're gonna stake somebody that they wanted to put on the red list.
well, the Tremere wanted him on the red list. He wasn't actually on the red list.
You're back.
So what do I?
So she's gonna be trying to unlock that front door.
I
Yeah, I
guess
think
so.
that's the idea. She's going to be heading up to the front door and then trying to unlock it.
Okay.
Before she leaves, she was one of the ones who wanted a gun, so I'd like to show her how to use it.
I have firearm. I have one. I know how to use a gun.
Like.
And I thought we were all going in together under veil.
I also thought that. So hold up a second.
Sure.
Well, before she spends
Sure.
time trying to unlock the door, can I just shadow step to the other side and open it up?
Sure, if you can do it fast, sure. Whichever way is faster, you can show off.
Did anybody tell me about the barrier that y'all were having problems with?
King Arthur here could not get through it. But you could somehow. I'm not too familiar with Halo reading.
Does the door have a lock on the other side?
It's the traditional door. I mean, if you went shadow stepped and went to the other side, you can instantly unlock it. Yes.
Click.
Okay.
Come on in.
Melissa, give Damien a pretty sour look.
So does that mean we're actually going up there? Do we want rules for the veil? Any of that stuff?
Yeah, because I certainly failed myself.
I'll do that. I want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if you can keep her obfuscated while she unlocks something. But I guess the idea is that once you guys get up there, someone's gonna open the door and enter. So I'm not sure you can touch stuff while you're cloaked.
Well, no, I can pop up. I can shadow step and
The
pop
other
up
guys.
inside.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
You kind of up at 4 and above. You just appear ghostly, kind of like the Predator.
Right, vanish from mind's eye, right?
Yeah. You're kind of a ghostly outline. It's higher difficulty to see you, I think.
And I have enough obfuscate to give it to the whole group.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
Nice.
We
And it
rolled
doesn't
pretty-
seem. I'm just trying to figure out how it functions as far as see person trying to make vanish. That's just for vanishing. It seems like right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess opening the door shouldn't be much of an issue. So you just boop, open it up. You can make a roll to see how disappeared you are, which I think is.
Charisma plus stealth.
Yep.
Charisma stealth, did we say?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's 9 dice for me.
Wow.
It's the difficulty of the highest wits alertness in the group of observers.
I had 2 10s, but they canceled out with 2 1s, so.
Okay. Go ahead, Arthur, King of the Britons.
Okay.
Are you cloaking anybody, or is it just the Nosferatu? Or is it 2 separate groups, or is it just all her? Okay, it's just all her then? Alright.
I
So,
will do everybody, I guess. I got 6, 8, 2, 10.
No, initially you guys had talked about separating it twice, and it seems like she was the only one who was cloaking, because I believe she can cloak everybody. So unless you were separating, which is what I thought you were doing initially, but that's not the case. Everyone's going in at once.
I'm cloaking myself and Arthur. Sorry, myself and Lance, rather.
Okay.
I thought she was getting everybody else, but I got myself and Lance, and my role should be appearing on the screen any minute now.
Well, and I think there's only one way into the room, so we decided to all go in together, I assume. We didn't think there was two ways in, so we were all going to
Yeah.
go together, true?
That's what I understood.
Yeah, I was talking about who's obfuscating who and not going in necessarily at the same time. So you guys are heading up to the place where Damien kind of meandered, and again, the inside of the house is creaky, and it has that sense of being watched, and the shadows are playing all over the walls a lot more than what seems to be permitted by light. And you all are heading up the stairs, making your way to what was this grand library, and you eventually get over to the section that Damien designated as the hidden laboratory, the hidden studio.
Well,
I'll have my sword out and point it. This is where it is.
I'll also have my sword out.
it's close quarters, so I'll probably go with the sword as well.
Okay.
But, I guess I'll knock.
Ah!
What?
Okay, you knock on
I
the...
give a 3, 2, 1, and by knock I mean I knock the door over.
Oh, I see.
No, with that La Sombra.
Go ahead and give me a feat of strength check. You're a pretty strong guy, but this is like pretty integral house. So just give me a feat of strength check, which I want to say is a willpower roll.
A willpower?
No.
That'd
Some of
be
the old
interesting.
stuff.
I don't know the rules on that one, so.
I'm trying to get to the feat of strength stuff again. Roll power with 9, difficulty 9, please.
Okay. Does
You're
the
starting at 6, which is 800 pounds, because you have 6 bones, right?
Yes.
So that's a lot to start with.
Oh, and actually it's only that many. There. Boom. They should be up. So you said difficulty 9?
Jesus Christ. Yep. So you shift that fucker up 3, which is enough to punch through a cement wall. So I'm thinking you can knock, crash as Rufus just concaves in what would be the main part of that door, and it just kind of shatters inward and collapses in on itself. And the door kind of shimmers and like falls down and just bam, boosh, as he just blows out the door. As the dust settles, there is the 3 individuals that I had described to Damien as they look up in utter shock and confusion as the dust settles, like kind of in front of them, and they're just staring at you guys as you guys are staring at them, staring back at those guys. There's that little moment of just, what just happened?
Yeah.
Initiative.
Felt really good, so.
Go ahead and give me initiative rolls, everybody.
What do
Dex, it's Dex plus wits, so whatever that total would be, plus a D10. So if your Dex is 4 and your wits is 3, it's a 7 and plus a D10.
Oh, okay. 5.
Damn. Dex.
And I caught that roll, JJ, before you can clear it. We're good, brother.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you do this? Do you add with a counter or something?
Just roll a
one
D10.
D10.
And then
Yeah.
add the physical number of your dex and wits. So if your dex is 4 and your wits is 3, it's a 7 plus d10. If you rolled an 8, you'd get a 15 initiative.
Okay.
I got 1.
Well, hopefully that's my last one of the battle.
I got 10.
So I got a 9, and
I'm at 12.
Mine appears to be a 15. If I roll separately for Lance, I can. Otherwise, the D10 I got rolled 7. So
Yeah, go ahead and do that for me. That'll make it simpler. You got a 10, did you say? Arthur got a 10?
Arthur got a 15.
Arthur got a 15. Okay, and Damien got a 15 as well. Was that right?
Yeah.
And
Rufus has a 17.
And Rufus got a 17. Okay.
Real hot.
Okay. 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 So Rufus will go first, and then Thaddeus. I am trying to decide if I'm going to do the rescending or descending order per the White Wolf normal rules. So we're going to try it out right now. We're just going to do a round of combat, and then we're going to probably pause for the night because the combat is going to probably take a little bit of time. But what we're going to do is we're going to flip the order. I don't know if any of you guys have done this in White Wolf previously, but it helps give the people with the higher initiative a better sense of what to do. So the youngest of those three in there is going to use movement of the mind to throw items from the room at the attacker Rufus. That's what she's going to do. Which then leads us to Melissa and Lance and the other Tremere. What is Melissa going to do? What's her intent for her action? Melissa, what are you going to do?
She's going to use personal armor.
Okay, well, personal armor is on all the time, so what is your action for the initiative?
hey guys, can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
For the
Hang on, we're dealing with Melissa right now, please.
Sure.
So, Melissa, what were you doing? If you don't make a decision soon, we'll just say that you're just standing there.
I'm going. Well, I'm going to try to talk. I'm going to try to ask. Where's Roland?
Okay, you're going to ask where Roland is. What would Lance be doing in that turn at that point?
Lance would be taking aim at Thaddeus with his weapon and try.
Okay. And he's going to try to do that. So that leads us to the other Tremere. She is going to burn Rufus, the guy who just knocked down the building wall.
Sorry, guys. Called shot to the head, rather.
Sure, call shot to the head. Let's see. Natalia is at next. What would Natalia be doing?
Moving into the room and
I
going
can't
up.
hear you for whatever reason.
I'll be moving into the room and attacking the woman with the flame. It sounds like if she was closest, or the woman who's throwing books around and stuff if she's closer. I'm not sure what the setup of the room is.
The setup of the room, it's much as I described it for Damien. So it's a large, grand library with a smaller laboratory in it of reasonable size, as they seem to be studying. It's probably the size of a conference room, and there's 3 individuals in it. Which
target is closest to me?
You really can't tell as far as who's closest. They're all in the room.
Okay, I'll just go after the one who's throwing fire around.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go to Arthur. What is Arthur going to be doing then?
Arthur's going to move to Thaddeus and attempt to cut him with his sword. He will also be spending 2 blood points to boost his dexterity.
Okay.
Actually 4, so he can also boost his strength to 6.
All right. Boosted, noted. Damien? Damien?
Hello?
There's one that's throwing fire, and I'm going to attempt to cut her in half using potence.
Okay. Okay, and then Thaddeus is going to enact a ritual and shout out for Anne.
What?
Rufus.
Rufus is going to spend blood for celerity and attack first the Thaddeus.
Thaddeus, okay.
Yeah.
Is he going to mostly be your target? I mean, you can change. That's the one advantage of when we come back around, you'll always be able to just announce the next action. So don't feel like you have to stack them now.
Yeah. He's hoping to be able to they doesn't need to spend all of his actions on Thaddeus, and he's going to change. And
how much blood are you spending?
It's one per action, right?
Correct.
I will spend 3.
Okay. All right.
1 for each of them.
1 for each of them. So we shall begin with Rufus. Rufus is attacking Thaddeus. Thaddeus was initially enacting a ritual and contacting Anne. He did not spend for celerity, so he will only enact his ritual. I guess he can kind of shout, but it's not the same thing. So he's not dodging, so feel free to screw up the Tremere.
Okay. Do you want some attack rolls here?
Yep, you can still go for quality of attack.
Yeah. So there we go. So it looks like I screwed that up.
Oh.
That's a botch.
Yeah. Does look like it.
So, you, with all sorts of tenacity and ferocity, come screaming at Thaddeus and impale your saber deep within the stone. You can probably get it out with an action, but it's kind of wedged in there weird, so it's just going to take a little bit to kind of yank it back out.
Yep.
So we lose that action, and if you want to use the sword, you would have to recover it.
Yep.
Okay. Thaddeus enacts his ritual and shouts out, "Ahem!" Damien, you're cutting down Fire Lady.
Yep.
She would like to not die from being cut down, so she's going to abort showing fire to dodge. Feel free to attack her.
Okay. It's dexterity and melee, right, for sword?
Correct. Oops.
Alright. Not sure what the difficulty is there.
It's whatever the difficulty of your weapon, it's usually just 6.
Okay. Then 3 successes.
Alright, you just hit. Feel free to decimate. She has a very horrified look as you come in on her and she's bringing up flame in her hand and you just come down with your cavalry saber.
Now, does potence get added into strength and damage then?
You spend a blood point and it's automatic. Otherwise, you add it to the dice roll. Yes.
Okay. Because I want to say strength is just it's strength plus 2.
And then plus your potence.
Yeah. So 7 plus 6, 13.
Eek.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not good for her.
It wasn't supposed to be.
Well, even if she soaks, she's still going to go in cap, so she goes away. Arthur, you were going after Thaddeus. Are you with us, JJ? You were gone.
Would it be Would it be easier for the sake of time if you guys rolled the dice for me, as your guys' apps seem to be working a little better than mine?
Sure, I'll do it for you, brother. What you got?
Dexterity 6 and melee 6 with the special and sword, so my 10s would count for 2.
Ooh.
You sadly lose the 10 and the 9, but you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
He can't dodge. So go ahead and roll that.
Strength is 6, plus 4 threshold successes is 10, plus 2 for the sword, so 12 dice for damage. As I hew into him with my blade, the fabled not Excalibur.
You said 12 damage, right?
It would be 12 dice, yep.
Alright. Oops, that's not the button I wanted to hit. Yeah, awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, he'll just be an asshole and soak it with his fortitude. Automatically. We'll spend a blood point and do that. Okay. He is a douche nozzle. I believe that brings us to Natalia, if I got my order right. Sounds right? 12? Yeah.
Yep, 12.
I'll get a little higher with my voice to make sure.
Well, the woman is on the floor. That was my target, yeah. So I guess I'm going to continue on to Thaddeus and try and knife him.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
No problem. No
This
problem.
guy.
No problem. You took care of the problem.
No, he's a problem. Just yeah, don't let up on an elder. Don't even pretend like that's somehow cheating. No, just keep hitting him till he dies.
And that's text
go
me
ahead.
away, right?
Yeah. It's a roll, isn't it? Every roll, or is it just?
So if the difficulty is 6 because it's a knife, that's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7.
Okay. Well, he isn't dodging, so it's 6 extra dice for your damage.
Nice.
6 plus 4 is 10, plus 2 for my potent is 12, plus 2 for the knife
Yes.
is 14.
Sounds right.
Sorry.
You're fine. I'm trying to look for something myself, so it's alright.
There we go. And again, if difficulty is 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay, give me a moment here.
I actually say 5. You know.
Don't I have a 1?
One's don't take 1 hit damage for soaking.
Oh, yeah, so 5. 6.
Yeah.
6 then. 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If the 1 doesn't count against.
Yeah, and he'll spend a blood point and soak it with his fortitude.
Yes.
He said, I gotta do this though. I'm sorry. Yeah, he soaks it. Okay. Okay. Arthur's probably faster than Melissa, so, and he was doing a called shot at Thaddeus' head.
Yep, Lance has 10 dice for dex and firearms. He is using his heavy pistol, and that would give him a specialty on pistols. So
The ones keep coming. So that's 2.
called shot to the head is like a +2 difficulty, I think.
Yeah, and he got an 8 and a 9, so he got it. That's not a problem.
All right, and targeted shots to the head or kindred are lethal damage instead of bashing.
Oh my gun is doing lethal damage. You shouldn't have been taking it as bashing.
Oh.
Go ahead and how much damage altogether is it?
I believe it's 5 for the. It's 5 dice for the heavy pistol, and then it would be 1 additional dice for the called shot, and 1 additional dice for the threshold, so 7 dice.
Okay, sounds good. Looks like 4. Is that right?
That works for me.
Okay. And like the douche she is, it's cheaper to spend a blood point right now.
I hate this guy.
Melissa. Melissa.
I did say I was gonna add personal arms and
Yeah, it's your turn, so do your thing. That's the point.
and ask where's, like I said, I'm gonna ask where's Roland.
Where's Roland? Okay. You shout at him, "Where's Roland?" He does not seem to respond.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to push out him too.
I'm sorry?
I would try to coach out him too.
Okay, well you'll definitely need to announce that next time during your next turn.
Next turn.
Right, and so the last neonate who's still there is going to move into some books, and I'm assuming who looks like Damien and Arthur and Natalia. So, yeah, okay. Everyone, you 3 all take a point of damage from a book flying at you.
My soak pool is 7, 4 stamina and 3 fortitude.
Yep.
Most of us can soak that, right? We don't have a problem soaking that.
It's bashing, so you can soak it.
Yeah. Vampires can soak lethal and bashing. That's still not any different. Almost all weapons will do lethal. Grace is right. This is only going to do bashing. Most of it would cut down to. I only did 1 anyway, so I suppose that's a good point. So it really doesn't do anything. It just kind of hits people in the face, and she feels like she's being effectual somehow.
It's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, basically. She's just panicking and hoping you'll go away. All right.
I'm going to turn her into a drooling window like going on this guy.
How is everyone doing on their energy level? Pretty good? Decent enough to keep going, or should we stop?
I'm going to keep going.
Can we please go? Keep going.
So go ahead and give me initiative rolls again, please.
Alright.
Do you want me to finish up my celerity actions?
Oh my god, dude, I totally forgot about your celerity actions. You have at least 2. What are you doing? I apologize.
Well, because movement of the mind lady's so useless, I'm going to use 1 action to pull out the sword and the other to try and hit him with it again.
Okay, fair enough. Go for it.
Oh my frickin' god. I think I got a success though, so.
Hey.
Lots of 1s. Those nightmares are brutal.
Yep. So you managed to hit him.
Okay. So.
It's gonna sting.
Yeah, he might soak it. So. I'll spend the blood point for the automatic successes on potents.
That's good.
There's 6 right off the bat.
Yeah, so 6 off the bat, and I'll roll the strength +2 for the sword.
Please.
And there we go. It's a little bit better. I think there's 4 of them that'll come up.
Mm-hmm.
4 plus the automatic.
The potence is automatic. That's another 6.
Right.
So that would be 10.
Yeah.
Suck it. Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to spend fortitude on that, but I still got to roll. Oops, and that would have been 2. So he takes 4, 6. Okay. Thaddeus is wounded. That cleft comes across his chest and up his left shoulder and just peels open the undead flesh and screws with the joint on his shoulder, and he hollers out, "Anne!" instead of screaming. Right. I believe that's going to be our next initiative.
Well, Melissa got 14. Cool. Now it's Rufus that gets to be slow. So
Yeah, that's right. I get to go slow now.
Natalia's on a 16.
I go on a 10. Or it's Rufus on a 10.
If you'd like to roll for Arthur, his base initiative is 10 with his dex 6 and wits 4. And Lance's...
Goes on 19.
And then Lance's base is 8 because he has dex 5 and wits 3.
He goes on 15.
Excellent.
Damien got 12.
Okay. Oh, am I missing anybody at this point? Melissa? No. Nope, I think I just need to get my NPCs. Okay. Okay. Okay, so...
I'm sorry, is this guy screaming the word Anne? A-N-N-E?
Yep, as in a name.
Okay.
Okay. That person is going to surprise everybody, so we can't do that one. Movement of the Mind Girl is going to try to run. Run. Let's see here. Damien is next.
I think I'm going to spend some blood and celerity.
Okay.
And I'm going to chase down Running Girl.
Okay, how much blood for celerity are you spending?
2.
Okay. Okay. Let me see here. That's Damien. I think I had you're 19. So Melissa at 14. I'm sorry, Rufus at 10. I actually skipped Rufus.
Yep, I'm at 10. I am just going to... I'm going to spend 1 for 1 extra celerity action.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack Thaddeus.
Okay. Going back with Thaddeus. We did Damien going after the running gal. I believe we're at 14, Melissa.
Who else is in the room?
Let's see. Thaddeus is still in the room. You all are still in the room. Even the youngest one is still in the room, and she's trying to run.
Wait. I thought one of the girls left. What's the other one doing?
She's running.
Dead.
Both?
Yeah, Damien, I believe, was the one who killed her. Was that not right? Did I get that?
One is,
There's
yes,
one that's
one
kind
is
of lying
dead.
in pieces, and then the other one's running, and I'm going after
Okay. I'm going to use Dread Gaze on. Try to use Dread Gaze on Thaddeus.
Dread Gaze on Thaddeus. That would be funny.
No, what would be funnier is if I try to use entrancement.
That would be funnier. You're right, actually. Let's see. What is Lance doing? Same thing? Popping him in the head? He's pretty good at shooting, so.
Yep.
Okay, right on.
Popping him in his face.
Let's see. Thaddeus. Thaddeus will spend for celerity. And he is going to, blow up Rufus, and then try to excorsate him. Well, I guess that's the latter turn. So he's just going to try to blow up Rufus right now. Because that hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Natalia, if I have that correct?
Yes, I'm on 16. I'm gonna attack our Tremere, Thaddeus.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I should say I'm gonna spend a blood for celerity.
Okay, you're spending a blood for celerity? Okay.
And
How much
for
celerity? Just one?
2.
Okay. 2 blood for 2 celerity? Okay. And then what's your first action just for this round?
Attacking Thaddeus.
Attacking Thaddeus, okay. Alright. A gargoyle will crash through one of the side windows through the Great Hall and is going to swoop into the room, and that will be her first action. She will be spending for celerity as well.
That's gonna hurt.
Okay. And she basically just arrives. That will be her turn, this one. Okay. Alright, so we'll start at the beginning, which is Arthur. He's at a 19.
I guess.
Did I even get to Arthur yet? I don't think I had asked you what you wanted to do, did I, brother?
Did for
JJ.
Lance.
Hello?
JJ's at 19, or Arthur's at 19. I think he's gone. And he's the first one, basically. So we'll give him a second here.
I think he's back.
JJ, you back? Alright, so what are you doing at 19?
You first.
I am going to try to cut off Thaddeus' head with a called shot to the neck, whatever side the difficulty is. I'm also going to spend an additional 4 blood points to boost my dex and my strength to 8 each, which will last for 3 turns before dropping back down to 6.
Okay. Just so you know, this isn't GURPS. You're not going to cut off his head with the success. Cool. Right on.
That's okay. I'm trying to cut his vocal cords
So
so
go
he
ahead
can't
and make
chant and use
your
magic.
roll. Is it 12 again?
This time it will be 8 plus 6. It'll be 14 dice. And I should explain a little more. My called shot for the neck is for his vocal cords, so they can't chant and use magic on us.
Oh. Okay.
Sure. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, he will use one of his celerity actions to dodge. Okay, so that took away 3 successes, so you hit with 2 successes, so 1 extra there.
So it is 8 plus 1 is 9, plus an additional 2 for the weapon damage is 11, plus, what is that, a plus 1 for the call shot to the throat, so 12 dice.
Okay. Okay. He'll spend blood to at least soak 4 of that, and we'll roll the rest. Right. It looks like that was a total of 8 damage, was it not? Did I get that right? Or was it 7? I thought it was 8.
It looked like 8 to me, but I could be wrong.
No, so that means he is... Oh, alright. Okay. He's not looking too good. That extra attack, well, Arthur completed the rest of the slice, and most of Thaddeus's rib cage is now exposed, with the emaciated internal organs hanging out slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's 16, Natalia.
Okay. I'm gonna attack him with my knife.
Okay.
Let's see. 1, 2.
Looks like 3.
3.
Okay. Yeah, he'll try to dodge this one as well, because otherwise he's just gonna die. Horrible, painful death. That would be no. So you hit with 2 extra dice for damage.
Okay. 9, 4, 2, 6, 8. That's 10 dice. I'm gonna roll those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Okay. Well, in my case, he will spend a blood and keep going. And soak that damage.
Okay.
Otherwise, he would have fallen over.
Okay.
Let's see, that's 16. That's for the gargoyle crash. Thunder swoops down and into the room, her wingspan barely fitting and just kind of nicking the sides as she comes in and kind of skids to a halt into the room. She is a gargoyle of reasonable stature, kind of much more of that lanky, wiry look. She seems more lithe than she's kind of a big, massive block. And she lands in front of, or where Thaddeus would be while he's getting dogpiled.
Ah.
Okay, so that would be Lance.
Lance shoots him in the face with 10 dice for his firearms dexterity pool.
Shoots him in the face, indeed.
Which,
There's some 10s.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, that's the
And
10's
no
count for 2 because that's his pistols is his specialty.
Okay. So, if he lights him up, he can't do that, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Is that right? 2, 4, 6?
Well, it'd be difficulty 8 to shoot him in the face because it's a +2 difficulty. So yeah, it'd be difficulty 8 minimum.
2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay.
8.
Yep. So that would be if he doesn't dodge. That's 12 dice also because 5 for the fire. Or no, that's 13 dice because 5 for the gun, 1 for the called shot to the face, and then 7 threshold.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lance and the heavy pistol.
All right, Lance.
So I'm not going to have a target then.
There's a gargoyle. There's always a target.
Yeah.
And I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see. That would be Thaddeus. Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna use movement of the mind and fly out. I will make him make a Dex plus dodge roll to get out successfully. That's what he's going to try to do. 1, Forest.
Oh, I think he succeeded.
So 1. Okay. So he, with surprising grace, he seems practiced at flying. He pulls himself up in a very loose arc and whooshes himself out of the room in a very dramatic down flopping swan dive out. He goes whoosh. He is simply outside of the room right now. He doesn't get any further than that. Let's see, that's 5, 12. Damien.
Oh, I didn't have turn.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Dread Gaze. The person you wanted to Dread Gaze just ran.
So what do I? So since I have no, since my original target's gone, can I use it on the gargoyle?
Sure, why not? Go ahead and Dread Gazer.
Because the gargoyle is a bigger physical problem.
Yes.
So that would be my charisma plus
And intimidation.
intimidation. The difficulty is the gargoyle's wits and courage.
We'll call that a 8.
Not bad.
Nope.
For once.
Oh.
4 ones in there? I haven't shown up yet.
No. I mean, for once, there's no one.
Oh, for once. Oh, I see.
I
Okay.
see.
Fair enough.
I was just saying, I thought there was a couple successes in there.
Wow, she's been really hard on herself. All right. So you turn and hiss and bare your fangs at the gargoyle, and she flees.
Oh, right on.
All right.
Right on.
Okay.
Well, I can always get them back later.
Yeah, that's pretty handy. It's too bad you didn't do it on the Tremere. That would have been kind of funny.
No,
Um,
I'm going to call them back after we have a plan.
All right, fair enough. I believe that is now Damien.
Okay.
At 12.
Well, now since there's 2 of them running, can I do a quick little assessment and go after the one that's out of the room?
Well, you could, yeah, I mean, right, the gargoyle is going to be running and hasn't effectively ran yet. So both of them are in the process of running.
Well, the girl's running and the big baddie is also...
Right, but one's already taken their turn and one hasn't. So when the other one comes up, she'll actually be able to leave. Where the other one, this who you're assuming is Anne, given how she showed up, cannot leave even though she's Dread Gazed. Her next turn will be leaving.
And then the Tremere is already out of the room.
She goes after Damien, and that's what she'd theoretically be doing, is getting out if she's still alive.
I think you meant Thaddeus, though.
Yeah, I thought Thaddeus was running.
He's flying out. Flying out. You can go after him. He's up in the air, so you can attempt to strike him, but I will give you a... He rolled really pretty well on his getting the hell out of there. I mean, kind of this thing. So I'm going to give you a +2 difficulty to hit him.
Okay, but I could still attack him, technically.
But, yeah, by all means.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and try that. And roll. 1, 2. 2 successes. One of them's a 10.
All right. You hop up in the air, and as he's moving about and just not a static target as you're somewhat accustomed to, you manage to predict his kind of aerial maneuvers and hit him without any trouble. So go ahead.
Awesome. So 6, 13 die.
Hit the flying Tremere pinata.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna see if candy falls out.
Right.
Just a lower generation.
Well, both 10s are gone, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4?
Ones don't take away any damage.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yep.
Well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 of them 10s. If that makes any difference.
He'll spend the blood to soak because he doesn't know any better, but he'll drop out of the air.
Fantastic, because I
Yeah,
still have
okay.
celerity.
Even when he soaks it, he wouldn't be able to survive it. So, we'll assume maybe he takes one more hit or soaks a little bit, but as you hit him, it's just enough to drop him out of the air.
Okay.
Rufus?
Um,
Did I skip anyone? I didn't skip
Well,
anyone.
yeah, I was planning on attacking Thaddeus, and
He's dead now.
He's kind of down.
He used to beat the shit out of his corpse.
Well, I was thinking I might, take one of those makeshift stakes and make sure it's in there, so that he doesn't
Okay.
stand back up. He's not final dead.
Okay. You ram a stake into his chest and it explodes. That was your turn.
What?
Well,
Damn Tremere sorceries.
that's right. I got another celerity action coming up.
Yes,
so.
you do. I think it's the girl, and she runs or tries to run and just tries to get the fuck out of that room.
Does the stake explode, or does he explode?
No, the stake
The
exploded.
stake explodes.
Okay.
It's a Tremere
Yes,
ritual.
yes, that is explodes when you touch him with wood. It's my only weakness.
I was like, what?
No.
Reflecting of the
I
wooden.
seem to remember that being a rather common low-level ritual, so
It is.
Right.
it's okay. I got
Technically, if you do it to him again, he doesn't got it twice. So there's that.
yeah. We'll see how many times he's got it.
Oh, you're all clever, huh? Here's another one. I think it's your turn. I think no one else spent celerity, and you're the only one left.
I did.
I did.
Yes.
I
that's
think a
right.
couple people actually did. So
It might be only one.
Oh, did they? I'm sorry, you're right. Natalia spent celerity too, and Damien did. So the order would then be Natalia again for the next celerity action.
Now, help me here with the rules. Can I bring up Majesty with the celerity action?
Yeah, I just spent a willpower point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that actually.
Okay, turn on Majesty.
I don't want to deal with I don't really want to deal with the gargoyle, quite honestly.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, fuck you, go attack somebody else. Let's see, and that would then be Damien on the next turn.
I'm gonna go after the flying guy that I just swatted out of the sky.
What are you gonna do?
I'm swinging the sword right back down on Thaddeus, who's now
Oh, fair
on the
enough.
ground next to me.
You're double tapping him. That's not exactly unwise. Okay.
Coup de grace.
Yeah. Are you trying to go for the kill, or are you just beating the shit so he doesn't get back up?
Well, he's not dead, is he?
Well, you're assuming if he's older than 100 years old, he should disappear when he dies, because he'll just
Yeah.
disappear and die, turn to ash.
I mean, so if I can go ahead and
Just keep
do
pounding
my
on
best to turn him into ash, yeah.
him. Okay. You probably are not. Well, no, that's not true. You could probably pound on him and take off his head. You got 6 bones. Why roll? That's fine.
Okay.
So you just slam it down hard across his neck, and his head will pop off, and he'll turn to dust.
Assuming I hit.
That's fine. He's not moving. I'm not really that much of a douchebag.
Fantastic. It's so nice when they don't move.
Yeah, I'm a lot of things, but I'm not going to do that. Rufus, you got one more action. There's a panicking gargoyle and a running Tremere.
The running Tremere seems like more of a problem.
Yeah, that's
Actually.
okay. That's okay. We can always call her.
Oh,
So-
I mean,
that guy?
you probably would recognize
What about that guy?
the gargoyle was dread-gazed. I mean, that's in clan for you, so that's probably not... So you know that gargoyle is probably pretty fucked up.
Yeah. That gargoyle is not going to be bothering us, I don't think. So I'm going to chase down the fleeing Tremere.
Okay. Okay. You chase down the fleeing Tremere, which isn't too difficult. You're way more nimble and dex than she is. You can't necessarily attack her, but you're effectively on top of her. You've matched the distance. And she don't got celerity, so. Given the fact of where we're at, I'm going to drop out of combat since it's getting late. And the gargoyle is going to attempt to flee as much as the other Tremere.
I still had a celerity attack, didn't I? I spent 2 points.
You're right, you spent 2, so we'll come back around to you. I apologize. Please take that before we drop out.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I'm assuming the other Tremere is coming at me.
Huh?
No, she's running.
She's running away.
Well, because I'm out in the hallway with the ashes of other dude.
She was leaving, so like the idea is that you were in the laboratory at a greater laboratory, and then leaving. She actually left. As much as how Anne came in 1 turn, she's leaving in 1 turn. That makes sense?
Okay, so I can't catch her or anything.
No, Rufus is the only one who's right on top of her right now.
Fair
you
enough.
can catch up to Rufus and her.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay.
Oh, so
Okay, so he's gonna zip out of the room. Alright. And that's all the slurry actions. Okay, so with that, Rufus and Damien, what would you like to do with the poor young Tremere? And is anyone attempting to find the gargoyle, or are they going to let that one run?
I'm going to let the gargoyle run personally.
Yeah, me too.
that's
Yeah,
a
that's probably-
violation.
Yeah, you go after it then.
I think between me and Rufus, we catch this girl and use potence to make her tell us what she was doing.
Why don't...
I was hoping to make sure that she was not able to resist us, and then question her.
So how does Rufus feel about offing that dude?
Pretty lousy, but we're you know, he's a little preoccupied right now. Supposed to be finding Roland.
It's true. Do you think he's just trying to bury it and not think about it? Or is he processing it?
I think he's burying it right now, and he's going to process it when when things slow down.
All right. Well,
He can take solace in the fact that I kind of offed him.
And I was trying to actually just stake him, but you know.
You did do like a shitload of damage to him. You're the major reason why he got fucked up. So I think you're gonna need a conscious roll there, buddy. You were one of the major reasons why this guy just died.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can I spend willpower on those?
On a virtual roll, I do not believe so.
Not
Okay.
on conscience rolls, no.
Okay.
Big number, big number, big number.
I'm hoping for 1.
Just need a 6.
Okay, we got 2.
Okay. And you said you're pretty remorseful about it. You're gonna process it later. As long as you give me a processing later, you'll be good.
Okay.
I am pronouncing judgment over the pile of ash, by the way.
Okay. What does the King of Britain say?
I say that for violating the 6th tradition and Lord knows how many others, I sentence you to death under the power vested in me by Lucin of the Venture Clan.
Right. There's a great shot as he says that, and the camera shoots to like a little pile of ash, and then it goes back to his face, very satisfied. You heard me. All right. And so, what is Rufus and Damien doing with the young Tremere? Damien was proceeding to torture her with potence. Is Rufus down for that?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not so much torturing her, but if I have to imprint on her arm to hold
Right.
her,
No. Sure.
then
Okay.
that's what has to be done in order to keep her here.
But
I
I
totally
think,
get that.
between the two of us, I think we can hold her down and make it clear that she's not getting away.
Well, if
So-
I've got an imprint on her arm, if she tries to run, she's going to leave an arm behind, so I don't even have to hold her down, technically.
Yeah, imprints the level 6 potent
Wait.
power that lets you climb buildings by making your own handholds.
Now, did I misunderstand your character, Damien? I thought you just had a 6th level power. Did you not in potence? Did you just have 6 thoughts in potence? Or did I miss that there were 2 powers?
There was the 1 power in potence. I just have imprint.
Okay. So next time you don't actually have 6 dice for damage. It's only 5. That 6 dice doesn't count when it's a power.
No, there were 6 die and the power.
Okay.
The 6
Right.
points. The 6 points in potence, and then the 1 that I spent for imprint.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I didn't catch that for some reason. So you actually have the 6 potence and then another dot in that. Okay, fair enough. My apologies. So he's you've imprinted like one of her arms and keeping her there. She screams in agony and pleads, please don't kill me. I don't understand. I don't know what's happening. She's, blood tears are just streaming down her face. Just please, I don't know. I'll tell you everything. I don't understand. I don't even know what's happening.
That's a good start. Stop talking.
All I know is Rebecca. She's the one who made me, and Thaddeus is like my grandfather, and I was just helping with research. That's it. I don't even know why he did this or what's wrong. I know he went somewhere and they raided something. Is that what this is about? I don't know where it is. I'll show you everything they brought back. Please, please.
After you.
Okay, she tries to get up, though of course your arm is essentially attached to her arm. You let go?
I'm not gonna let go, but I'll follow her.
Okay. Tries to walk you guys back in that room, and she'll point out the things that they stole from the Chantry, and it's most of the books that are in that room. There are a few that don't seem to be supposedly from the raid, but there are a fair amount of thaumaturgical books in here.
Where's Roland?
Roland? Who's Roland? I don't know any Rolands.
Thaddeus supposedly took someone.
He didn't come back with anyone extra.
I thought there was 2 gargoyles here.
And
Yeah,
gargoyles?
there's Anne and then there's Becky. I don't know where Becky is.
Where?
I'd take a look at the books, the thaumaturgical books. Do they see? Just take a general look at them and see what they were collecting.
Do you have any occult? I don't remember.
No.
I have all the occult.
Investigation, but I don't have any occult.
Yeah, I mean, you get the sense that they're pretty old books. They seem pretty valuable. They're just talking kind of occult mumbo jumbo, though, as far as you can tell.
Is there any hidden places in here?
Any hidden places within the hidden laboratory? No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Was anybody else looking at the books?
Just those 3. And for anyone with any reasonable amount of occult, yeah, you can confirm the thaumaturgical books. You can probably learn some thaumaturgical rituals from these.
I will examine them just because they are books and I'm a professor.
Okay. Yeah.
Damien.
I do have occult 4 as well.
Do we know which ones belong to the Chantry?
She allegedly points out the ones that she believes was brought back.
Ooh,
I'll
I
take
will
them.
cast Spirit's Touch on those.
Okay. You catch Spirit's Touch on them, and you get a relative sense of them, but as you kind of hold your hand on them, the imprint fades very quickly. And you realize the anti-scrying is going to prevent essentially any kind of scrying in this house. All specs is just going to kind of bounce right now.
If we can get these outside, I might be able to get an idea what happened at the time they were stolen.
Okay, so Melissa's gonna take them.
Okay.
Um,
It's like a kind of like a bunch. You can probably find a chest or something in the library to easily transport the books. That big deal. You're gonna say something, Seth?
Yeah, Damien, I think the girls had enough.
Yes, please. I told you everything. I don't even understand why you're so mad or what they did. I had nothing to do with it. I'm just this is all new. I just was turned. I don't know.
How long were you turned, little miss?
It's just a year. Just a year.
She is an authorized childer. She must die.
And she just like bawls and starts crying uncontrollably.
Melissa's gonna pass.
Perhaps we could return her to the Tremere.
She kind of looks up. I'll do anything. It's fine. It's fine. I'll do whatever they tell me. It's fine. It's fine.
She must be presented to the prince first and let him decide it. It's his domain, and there's the tradition of project accounting.
Wait. It's okay, dear. It's okay.
With my mighty law, too.
The other body, I don't think anyone ever ashed that one.
It's just unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah, just unconscious. We'll just put a stake in that one, which will probably poof as well.
No, it's fine.
Okay, well then we'll.
Yeah, Damien literally went for a decapitation. He was like, "I'm trying to kill this motherfucker."
Pretty much.
No. I meant the stake. I was right. There's another body. Another.
There was the one Tremere I jumped in through the doorway and just kind of hacked.
Right.
Then the other one.
She's incapacitated, so I was just gonna make sure she stays that way.
Well, it takes a minimum of 3 damage to stake somebody, so that would probably catch her if she's already decapped.
Oh really? Yeah.
No, I won't. I mean, it's just lethal damage in that way, so it's fine. You know, when it comes to going past incap and doing regular amounts of damage, it's going to be a little relative. I'm not going to just say like as soon as you hit 7, you're just going to pop like a pinata. If you have some blood to go through, you'll be a little bit more resilient. So, but I kind of like the older rule where you kind of have to go through the blood to kill a vampire with lethal, or just decapitate them with a lot of potence like Damien.
Nice, I like it.
So you should be able to at least stake her. You're not really sure if you successfully staked her, because I'm not going to make you roll for that nonsense, but
Yep.
you at least think she's incapped. What's the next course of action for everybody?
I think we should return these two for punishment.
Do
For
we
judgment.
For
do we
judgment.
have an address for where the Tremere are?
I'm sure we can get a hold of Lucinda and she can contact the Tremere. She'll know how to reach them.
No, she's busy right now. Lucinda's busy right now. We're handling this right now.
I will contact Rook and ask him for a number to reach the prince or one of the prince's representatives.
Sure. You'll get a hold of him. You call him up, and Rook answers, "Yeah, Arthur, what's going on?"
We have 2 prisoners that must be brought before the prince for judgment. One of them is an unauthorized child.
Sounds
Make
messy.
that-
The other one's a corpse with a piece of wood in it.
Sure. Well, I'll find out where this is supposed to go for you. Why don't you stay put?
Okay. Thaddeus has been slain.
Okay. Why don't you at least head back to the Hyatt? I'll tell you where you need to go if you need to go somewhere different in that time frame. Shouldn't be a problem.
Excellent. Click. I hang up.
So everyone kind of piles in the cars and
Well,
throws Thaddeus in the back.
Throws
Well,
him in the back.
I will
That
sweep
is
Thaddeus up into a some kind of container,
Okay.
put a lid on it, and then give it to Lance to tell him to carry it.
Okay.
The Tremere may have use for his ashes.
Okay. And then you throwing the other gal on top of the ashes, or is she the incap one? Let me be very clear. The one that's unconscious.
I'll put her in the trunk of one of the cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the imprint one, Damien has to. Are you still holding onto her?
Yes, I am.
All right. Okay.
I would suggest staking her.
She threw a book at me.
Who's driving, by the way?
Are you seriously complaining about a book?
She
You
threw a
have your
book at me.
fingers digging into her arm, and the book bounced off you. I mean, grow up. You were in a freaking war.
Hey, Damien, you can drive, and I can take you. I can make sure she doesn't run it. Okay, it's just the same.
I'll be good. I swear. I won't cause any trouble.
Just put a stake through her heart and throw her in the trunk with the other one.
She starts crying again.
There's no room. There's no room for 2 in there.
We have more than one car.
we have to have more than one car. There's 5 of us.
They're
Yeah,
here.
true, but we drove only one car. I think.
Actually, Lance drove me in my car.
It's
And
fine.
I
There
came
are
with
4 cars. It's all right. We don't have to worry about the argument of who's right through. It's cool.
Don't have to worry about trunk space.
Yeah,
Mafia approved trunk space.
Speaking of trunk space, we have more than one cars. That's the perfect place to put my imprinted little pet.
all right. She whimpers the entire time, but is pretty complacent.
Good girl.
Yeah.
I let go.
When you grab her arm and it makes a hand indent in her arm, she's gonna listen to what you say.
I'm going.
Just as a rule.
Well, I'm gonna use Dominator just to make sure again.
So I make it clear to her before I put her in the trunk that she is to stay in the trunk until we open the trunk, because if she tries to run, I'm going to be upset.
Okay.
Oh,
I won't run.
Also be quiet. And I'm
Okay.
gonna make sure to touch her shoulder and then say, also be quiet, okay? And it's gonna be dominate.
Okay. So she quiets down and kind of lies down like a cow ready for slaughter in the back of the truck.
And then I will stake her anyway if nobody tries to stop me.
Okay.
I'll stop him from staking her. She's already in the trunk and she's not fighting.
There's no need for that, for additional violence. She's.
If she kicks the trunk off while we were driving, you are the ones who's cleaning up the masquerade then.
I already agree. That's why I said it. I told her I'd be annoyed if she tries to run.
That's okay. I order her not to be quiet as well.
I hand the stake off to Lance with an annoyed look and tell him to put it away for future use.
He knows that look, so he's ready in case there's another opportunity to stake her.
Excellent.
So everyone piles in their own cars, and they drive off to the Hyatt. About 10 minutes in, Rook calls Arthur and tells him, "Oh yeah, this is where the Tremere Chantry is. Apparently, you're supposed to take him there."
Okay, that's
Okay.
I'm gonna show up. I've never been to a Tremere Chantry, so I'm gonna see you there. He clicks and hangs up.
Okay, that's
The
all.
one they just attacked tonight?
Yeah, exactly. That's apparently the one you're going to.
I will call the driver of the other car. I guess that would be Rufus.
Rufus, yeah. Melissa's got her own driver.
Yeah, and I
He's got their own
will.
car.
I can drive. I'm driving a car. Sure.
I'll call Rufus and let him know that we're going to the Chantry.
Okay. So you guys give the location of the Boston Chantry and head on out to dump your quarry. And I think that's probably a good place to end for tonight, as Seth looks like he's going to fall asleep.
I'm a little bit tired here.
Like, I'm
I think it's
fine.
about 1 in the morning.
I'm a hammer potence. Come around.
Hey,
Oh, come on. We didn't find Octavius. We didn't find Roland. They're not going to be happy.
No.
Well, we weren't supposed to find Octavius.
That was a side quest sort of deal. I think.
Yeah, screw that guy. Didn't even met the NPC, whatever.
I was just saying, nobody ever actually even mentioned him from his own clan, so they can't be terribly important, can he?
No, but that's Tremere. They don't like talking about their business.
Yeah.
But Tremere probably have ways of finding them that when we get to their chantry, they'll know.
Yeah. So this was a good night. Everyone can take 4 experience. Everyone did some good role playing tonight. I appreciate that. Given that I think this broadcasting will die in roughly 3 to 4 minutes, because I only set so much time on it, are we ostensibly good for 2 weeks from today, which would be the 12th?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have any plans.
I think I'm good as well. I'm just checking.
I'm good.
12th looks clear for me.
Okay. All right, well, we'll do the same bat time, same bat channel. The 12th, 7 to 10. We'll pick up as the group dumps off their quarry at the Chantry and begins their first assignment in Providence.
Awesome.
We won't, again, there won't be much downtime for this one because we didn't get initially to Providence, but the next game will probably have a fair amount of downtime. If anyone wants to interact via blue booking through chatting and text, please do so. If you do so and come up with some cool stuff or do some cool character interactions, you might get some extra experience. Otherwise, if you have any questions or scheduling stuff that comes up in the interim, just give me a shout. And it was great seeing everybody. I'm glad that the game is getting a little bit more momentum, and it seems that it's going well. So it's good to see everybody, and I'll see everybody in another couple weeks.
All right, awesome. See you guys later.
Bye.
See ya.
See you. Bye.